And and we are live, guys. Welcome to the stream. It's going to be a good one today. We have a lot to discuss, quite a few topics, guys, throughout quite a few realms and industries and categories. We're going to be talking about a realm of different things today, and it's going to be quite exciting because of due to recent events and my own personal anecdotes and experiences, we're going to be covering a lot. So please stay tuned. I'm just doing some audio checking, so I'm going to be, in and out real quick. Give me a second. Most likely there'll be an echo sound effect. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna see. I can see I'm live on YouTube, and you know, um, yeah, there's definitely gonna be an echo, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to see if there is any sort of screen sharing ability for me to go on. So I'm gonna be doing that, guys. Let's see if I can share my screen and share the audio too. So, entire screen, entire. Is it the window or what do I do? Also share system. Like if I click. Bismillah, man. So this is gonna be a little bit weird, but I'm gonna be trying to, do something real quick. Yeah, let's just like play a clip. I don't know. Let's go to X and let's play some clip. Um yeah, I can see that Nick posted here. So yeah, this is gonna be like something weird. Play a clip. I don't know. Let's go to this is play a clip. I don't know. Let's see if these clips are gonna be able to be playing. So let's see if we
Yeah, it's actually.
You on? Let me read your chat. You okay?
Yeah, you can read my chat. Everybody said they didn't know you, so.
Yeah.
Everybody said they
300 people in here. And 300 people in here. And
Look, don't talk about me like that.
Yeah, so guys, you can hear that, right? You can hear that, so that's good. Yeah, so guys, you can hear that, right? You can. So that's good. But anyways, yeah, I was just gonna do an audio check, but thank you everybody for joining me today. We're gonna be going through a bunch of topics, but the main ones are gonna be, as you can see on the screen, guys. Number one is going to be a red pill topic. I'm going to be starting the stream with a red pill topic. So I'm going to be discussing why modern dating is cooked and the dating market is completely brutal. And people have no idea what's going on, especially the young men of today. So I'm going to be covering that. We're going to be reacting to some clips. Also, guys, second topic is going to be an Australian Air Force base was hit in Dubai and it was bombed by reportedly Iran. So we're going to be going through that and we're going to be seeing what the possible outcomes are of this bombing. I'm not sure if the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has made a statement yet, but we're going to be seeing what he's saying. We're also going to be seeing what the potential outcome is going to be from this bombing. If Australia is going to be, as I said in the thumbnail, joining World War III and creating that balance between Iran and Israel. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about Nick Fuentes crashing out at the GOP. Guys, he told everybody, don't go to the polling booths, don't go to the election, do not vote, don't vote in the midterms, don't vote in 2026, never Vance, never Marco Rubio, never Trump, and he's officially joined that bandwagon. So we'll go to that for sure, and we'll go and check that for sure. But anyways, as you can tell, it's quite a trying time here, and this is just to start it off with the dating market. The dating market has been absolutely brutal for young men, And a lot of guys, unfortunately, are not red pilled. And it's been very harmful on them. They've been brutally manipulated. They've been stood up on dates. They've been cheated on. They've been flaked on by girls on dating apps, whether it's Tinder, Hinge, Bumble. I don't care what app you use. But we will be covering a few clips, and I'll be showing you guys certain scenarios that you have to watch out for, and you have to watch out for other men in this case, not just women. And I don't mean that like, in a homosexual way. I mean that as in you got to be watching out for the guys that you're making friends with, because these people will also affect your thinking, and they will also be affecting your ability to attract women, because these are the people that you're going to be surrounded with every day, and these are the people that the women are going to be seeing you with every day. So this is largely consequential, and it's going to be. I'm just setting up a few things here, guys. Sorry, just give me 1 second. And yeah, it's absolutely brutal, man. So let's just jump straight into it. And I'm going to react to a clip, guys. This is a clip that I found on Twitter. The guy who's doing the street interview is The Desirable Truth. He has a great channel, guys. Go follow him on X, YouTube, Rumble. He has on all platforms, Instagram, etc. And his channel is basically street interviews where he's asking guys and girls, simple questions about dating. He's going to the major cities: New York City, Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland, etc. And he's basically asking a bunch of questions to determine how the dating markets are in every single city. And I saw one of his clips in New York City. This is in Manhattan. And he's talking to this guy where this guy is 36 years old, and he's interviewing him for 2 minutes. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to play the clip through and through for full, and I'm going to let you guys enjoy it and marinate in it. And then I'm going to give my full reaction, analyzing the clip, going bit by bit, going over what the guy said, and going over what I heard inside. So we're going to be doing that real quick. And then after that, I'll go through my reaction. As you can see, I pinned this tweet to my profile. You can go to my profile on X. It's just Sabir Rahman. And you can go to my pinned tweet. This is the one that I pinned for today. But anyways, let's play this clip.
New York.
It's great, man. The women in
What's your age?
36.
Are you single?
Yeah, I am.
What's it like dating women in New York?
It's great, man. The women in New York are there's a large variety. There's people from all over the world, super ambitious. If you're looking for like a high quality woman, this is the place to find them.
So would you say it's easier to date women in a big city like New York, or do people have a better shot in the smaller cities?
No, I think this is the place to do it, because you got a lot of ambitious women that are super successful, that are career oriented, smart, beautiful, and I mean, you got a variety of women from all over the world.
But when you meet a woman who is career oriented and super successful, does that make it easier for you to date her?
Yeah, I think so.
How come?
She's obviously prioritizes her own success, so she obviously thinks intelligently about her future. So I think she would include you in that thought process.
But do you think that those women are okay dating men below them in their tax bracket, or do they want the guy who is at least making the same amount of money or more?
Do you really talk like that all the time, or is that like a voice for the interview? There's no fucking way.
It's however you make it.
No, dude. There's no way when you're talking to your homie behind the camera that's your voice. Wait, are you gonna break character? Wait, what was the question again?
Do you think
Say it in your real voice, not in the
that is my real voice?
No, there's no way that's your real voice. That's like a Bane character for Batman or some shit. Come on, bro. Say it in your real voice and I'll answer the question.
Do you think?
Come on, no.
Do you think?
Yo, you guys are fucking with me. Shit.
Do you think?
I'm sorry, man. It's cool.
Do you think that high value woman?
Real quick, I follow you, my nigga. Come on, bro.
Thank
You
you.
real nigga, bro. Come on.
Do you think
Where the stories
that
at?
top earning women are interested in dating men who are making less than them here?
Yeah. I mean, I think money shouldn't matter if you connect with somebody.
Okay, so guys, I mean, there's a lot to go through. Yeah, I see it's bad. the interview didn't go great, but there's obviously a lot to go through. So we're gonna start at the start, right? Which is where he gets like basically essentially a profile, right? And he's asking him about his age and like his relationship status. And so this guy says that he's
What's your age?
36.
36
Are you single?
Yeah, I
and
am.
he's single. And you can see immediately that the interviewer is like, what the hell? Like, like why? You know what I'm saying? Like you're 36, you're pushing 40 and you're still single. And the guy's got his hands in his pockets. And guys, as somebody who's been studying psychology, human nature, negotiations for half a decade, and I've been in the communications industry for almost a decade, you know, public speaking, debating, etc., I can definitely tell you that when somebody has his hands in his pockets, even for a street interview that might be getting, I don't know, 40 to 50K views, he's not confident about his answer. He just isn't. And it doesn't look like it's cold in New York City that night because everybody's wearing, you know, like these flannel t-shirts and tees, and they kind of look like they're sweating too. So this is, you know, obviously an unconfident answer. He's not really sure of himself here, and this is like within 5 seconds of the interview. So let's keep playing here.
What's it like dating women in New York?
It's great, man. The women in New York are there's a large variety. There's people from all over the world, super ambitious. If you're looking for
So you can immediately see that he's waffling. Like it's been 15 seconds of the interview, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he's waffling, and obviously the interviewer asks him. I don't know his name, by the way, but he's a great guy. He says that, you know, how are the women in New York? And he's like, well, it's great, man. You know, it's and then you can see the hesitation in his voice, guys. And of course, you don't have to be a master level communicator to know that a big hesitation like this about a serious question indicates that you're unsure about the answer, as I said before. And you can tell that he's fabricating an answer as he goes and as the interview progresses. He's just kind of making things up on the spot. You know, he's like saying these women are super ambitious and these women like are crazy and stuff like that. Normally qualities, guys, if you're a red-pilled guy, just to say this, normally qualities that women would look for in a man, you know, crazy and ambitious, not the other way around. So this is already getting a little bit weird. It's almost like he's talking about other men. You know, it's strange. But let's keep playing.
like a high quality woman, this is the place to find them.
So would you say it's easier to date women in a big city like New York, or do people have a better shot in the smaller cities?
No, I think this is the place to do it because you got a lot of ambitious women that are super successful, that are career oriented, smart, beautiful, and I mean, you got a variety of women from all over the world.
But when you meet,
That's true. That's true. Nobody's disputing that. But the issue is that cities like New York City, again, it is the commercial and the financial capital of the world. I'm sure you guys know the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange is in Manhattan. And that entire area, guys, is called Wall Street. And Wall Street is the financial capital of the world. Now, since Wall Street is the financial capital of the world, New York City is known as the concrete jungle, right? The city of hustling, the city of getting better and earning more money. That's not obviously beneficial necessarily to finding a man, right? From the woman's perspective, maybe it is to the men, right? Because higher income, higher optionality, higher leverage for these men, but definitely not for women. And you could see that the street interviewer is immediately going to press him, and in a good way, by the way. You know, he gets a little bit more uncomfortable later on as we'll watch the clip, but he immediately fires back at him, and he makes sure that, you know, he does like that quick little double take where he's asking, are you sure about this? Are you sure about what you said? And we can see that confirmed right here.
a woman who is career oriented and super successful, does that make it easier for you to date her?
Yeah, I think so.
How come?
She's obviously prioritizes her own success, so she obviously thinks intelligently about her future. So I think she would include you in that thought process.
Do you think that those women are okay dating men below them in their tax bracket, or do they want the guy who is at least making the same amount of money or more?
And so you can tell that the street interviewer, you know, he's being a little harsh here. Obviously, he's being a little bit harsh here. But he's getting to the crux of the issue, which is hypergamy. Now we're going to be discussing hypergamy later on, but essentially at this point it's pretty clear that hypergamy is the process of women or people, specifically women, dating up, right? Women dating guys that are in the higher tax brackets than they are, women dating guys that are taller than they are, women dating guys, that are essentially stronger, faster, better, smarter, and this is kind of like, there's a German proverb about this, but this is kind of where we are now, chat, where the average woman thinks that she deserves, Chad and the ASU frat leader and Clavicular and all these other guys. Basically, if you watch their streams, I don't watch their streams, but a lot of guys do, and they will see that a lot of women, even that you would consider like fours, five, sixes, they would gravitate towards like ASU frat leader and Clavicular and other people like that, thinking that they deserve them when in reality they don't, and they are just in line with a bunch of other women for these men. So he presses him immediately. That's great. And let's see what his answer is.
Do you really talk like that all the time, or is that like a voice for the interview?
I'm not sure if he's drunk here, but I'm not really sure what type of question that is. It's kind of, you can obviously tell, again, the hands in the pockets. He's quite uncomfortable answering the question, and I feel like he knows that he's been kind of putting himself into a trap, right, chat? And he knows that there's really no way for him to come back to answer this question, and he has to somehow personally attack the street interviewer. So
there's no fucking way.
It's however you make it.
No, dude. There's no way when you're talking to your homie behind the camera that's your voice. Wait, are you gonna break character? Wait, what was the question?
He thinks that like this guy's kidding. Obviously he's not. I'm gonna show you guys this channel later on, but the Desirable Truth actually does this for a living, guys. He makes this sort of content, and you can see like he's like, come on, dude. He's like giving him the little nug on the shoulder. Come on, man. You're joking. You're surely not serious about this. And this continues for the next like 10 to 20 seconds. So
again,
do you think
say it in your real voice, not in the
that is my real voice.
No,
look, he still doesn't believe him.
But there's no way that's your real voice. That's like a Bane character for Batman or some shit. Come on, bro. Say it in your real voice.
You could tell, like, the street interviewer is like, he's obviously laughing to like play it off because he knows he's live and he's gonna post this on like all the platforms anyways, like after editing it. But he's obviously getting a little uncomfortable. He's like, dude, why can't you just answer my fucking question? And so yeah, I mean, let's continue.
And I'll answer the question.
Do you think?
Come on, no.
See, look, and he's like, so what he's doing here, chat, is that not only is he avoiding answering the question and then hurling two personal insults with the interviewer, what he's essentially doing is that he is trying to change the subject, and he is trying to play this off as like a little joke, like, come on, man, this isn't serious. Come on, just be my friend, just be my bro. And ask me like, in the passive voice or whatever, like don't try to corner me. Don't try to make me look bad. Like what are you doing here, man? That's what he's doing. He's trying to play it off, and he's trying to essentially basically save his reputation because he knows that he effed up in this interview, and he knows that it's going to go on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, etc. And he knows his friends and family might see this. So,
Do you think?
Yo, you guys are fucking with me. Shit.
Do you think?
I'm sorry, man. It's cool.
Yeah, see, look, the little nag on the shoulder. I told you guys it would happen. I actually forgot that part of the clip, but
Do you think that high value woman?
Real quick, I'll follow you, my nigga. Come on, bro.
Thank
You're
you.
a real nigga,
guy,
bro.
like,
Come
comes
on.
into
Do you
the ice, like just to relieve the tension.
think
Where the footies
that
at?
top earning women are interested in dating men who are making less than them here?
Yeah. I mean, I think money shouldn't matter if you connect with somebody.
And he's right. Again, here's the thing, right? The interviewee, guys, in this case is right. Like, obviously money shouldn't be the primary factor in a relationship, and it should never be. That's normally the factor for divorce, not for marriage. But he's obviously trying to avoid the question and changing the subject. Then he throws a personal insult at him. And you can obviously tell from somebody's answers to a basic question, whether it's dating or it's the red pill or it's psychology or human nature, etc., you can tell where somebody's political stances are too, guys. Now, obviously, we know that New York City is an extremely liberal city, right? And because it's an extremely liberal city, a majority of the men that are in this city are blue pilled. And what is the blue pill in this case, Chad? Well, the blue pill is basically looking through the lens of idealism. What is idealism? Idealism is essentially looking at people, especially in this case, women, through the idealistic lens that they will behave in the best possible way no matter what. And you should always assume so until they behave badly. That is idealism, Chad. And I wanted to get the definition up, but I'll say it myself. Idealism is essentially this construct where you believe that people will behave in your best interest and not just theirs 24/7. And that is a really dangerous mindset to have, guys, because not only is this wrong, but people who look at the world through an idealistic lens often end up cheated on, manipulated, etc., fired from their job because they don't understand that people will never behave in their own interests. Now, this is what I said, Chad. This is what I replied to. This is the tweet that I sent out. And this is my reply to this interview. I said this. It's amazing how blue pill liberal men lie through their teeth, like this guy. You're pushing 40 and you're not married, let alone in a relationship? Yeah, the dating market in NYC must be great. So let me break down my reply here. Let me go through the first line. I said it's amazing how blue pill liberal men lie through their teeth. Why did I say this, Chad? Well, I said this because the guy is obviously not being honest. He's being uncomfortable. He was putting his hands in his pockets. He was trying to, give him the little nag on the shoulder. Hey, bro, it's all good. It's just a little joke, man. We don't have to take it so seriously. What he doesn't know is that people like me are analyzing his move, and people like me understand what he's trying to achieve. And that's a problem because, again, this guy probably looked through, as you can see, he looks through the lens of idealism when it comes to women. They're great, they're awesome, they can never do any wrong. And why would you care about money? And why would you care about status and people? Why would you be a woman and want a man who earns more than you? And the whole German proverb of being stronger, faster, taller, etc. Why would you want that? That's just such a misogyny. That's just a joke. And we can obviously tell that his charade was falling apart in these 2 minutes. Now, what about the next sentence? I said, you're pushing 40 and you're not married, let alone in a relationship. Well, guys, remember, this is New York City. And he's like, man, the dating market is so great here. But it's not the case because this guy is 36 and single. He's not even had a girl commit to him. And that's just insane because we know, guys, that the average age of first marriage for men in America is what? It's 31? Yeah, it's 30 to 30.5. And he's 6 years behind. I hate to say, you know what I'm saying, but he's 6 years kind of behind the average, and that's fine. Of course, that's fine for people. You got to wait and you got to make sure it's the right one, etc. But that can also be done in a quicker manner. That can be done in a different manner, etc. And this guy obviously doesn't have, his tactics together, and he has no idea what's really going on. Because if he did, I can tell you for sure, he would not be. What is it? He would not be in this scenario. Now, I want to, go to another clip here, guys. Hold on, sorry, give me 1 second. So this is not a clip, actually. This is this is me reacting to this text message app. I don't know if it's Hinge or Bumble or Tinder, etc. But this is this OnlyFans girl, right? So basically, she's a corn star, right? She's uploading corn. She does OF, she does fanfics, a bunch of other stuff. And this is basically a text message chain that he had with this one guy. And she uploaded this on TikTok. And basically the caption is dating in 2024. And you can see the amount of makeup she's wearing. And she's crying or whatever the fuck. And basically he says this. The guy says this, hi, beautiful. Hey, I hope a tiny girl you can take a big, I'm not going to say it, but you can see it. And she responds, ew, what's wrong with you? What? You expect me to treat you like a lady after seeing your OF and your IG bio. Now, this is interesting because it got 3.3 million views in a matter of 2 days. In 1 day. But why is this interesting and why am I pulling it up right now in front of you guys? The reason why, I'm pulling this up is because these modern women, guys, they're absolutely delusional. And they really don't have any sense of, human nature, psychology. They don't really understand how people work, how men work in particular, because they've never been told that. We've growing up in the era of feminism now, when women are constantly told, men are trash, men are this, men are that. You don't have to appeal to them. Don't care about them. You don't need no man. You're an independent boss babe, etc. Right? And the fact is that through this programming, the women have completely forgotten about what men want and how to attract a man and how to retain a man, not just smash him. Right? And so let's go through this real quick. And I'm going to go through some of the comments. Right? She has an OF, guys. And he responds with like a picture, saying, hi, beautiful, whatever. And he obviously understands that she is an OF girl. She's, uploading porn, etc. And because of that, he sends out like this erotic text message. Now, I will say this, guys. I will say this. This is, hold on, where is... So this is what I said. This is what I said, right? I'll just go through my reply right now. I said that, hey, he's out of line, but I understand where he's coming from. Now, obviously, this isn't, a very nice text to send, but again, she does OF. She's a prostitute. She's a whore. She's a harlot, as they would say back in the day. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because it's important for you to understand that as a man, why would you treat a prostitute like a lady? Why would you do that? Because that is ridiculous at best and shameful at worst, right? The whole reason why throughout history, guys, prostitution, it's been one of the oldest professions in the world, but throughout history, the reason why there's been such a divide between the types of women is that there was always a North and a South Pole for women. What was the North and the South Pole? Well, it was the prostitute and the lady. And we understand that they must be treated differently. The prostitute, in this case, the OF girl, the OF thoughts, they should be treated, with, however you want, and they should be destroyed and pounded, etc. You get what I mean? I'm not going to say it because I'm on YouTube. But yeah, and the lady should be treated with gentleman behavior. We should open the door for her. We should, I don't know, fucking sing to her. We should drive her around. We should always, let her go first, etc. We should give that gentleman chivalry treatment. But why would a man be expected to treat an OF girl like a lady, right? Why would you be expected to treat a prostitute like a lady? As I said, that's ridiculous at best and shameful at worst. And we can see the replies, people are saying, it's Twitter, so there's free speech. People are saying that this man is telling some facts. He's got a point, act like a whore, get treated like one. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. And this is funny because these women do not understand that there are consequences to their own actions. And do people not, men who divide women into those who deserve respect, those who don't, in fact, don't respect any of them. And obviously it's like the stupid girl. I don't know. She's from Colombia, so she might have an OF herself. And this is insane. This is what Grok said. People who want to monetize explicit content as empowerment while demanding chivalrous treatment to personal interactions. Yeah, so even Grok knows that this thing is ridiculous, And and Grok says that you want to set clear boundaries with these women. But I'm just going to tell you, avoid them. Avoid these women at all costs. Because I can literally tell you in my reply, I said, you can't be a prostitute and expect most men to date you seriously. Can't be a prostitute expecting lady treatment. Pick one, tiny girl. And I said tiny girl because he called her a tiny girl. Right. So that is why, again, this treatment where women can behave like whatever they want, they can behave like, harlots, etc., and they expect lady treatment is ridiculous at best and it's shameful at worst. So I want to go through another one of these things, right? And this is where, women, they get the edge on men. Because what you have to understand, guys, is that a majority of women, and again, I'm speaking in generalities because I'm going to clarify my statement later on, but a majority of women are weaker physically than a majority of men, right? They are shorter, they are weaker in the gym, like lifting wise. And I definitely know that because I'm one of those guys that goes there and I talk to these women and, you know, they're great, they're beautiful, etc. But, you know, baby, they ain't strong, you know? And not only are they shorter and weaker, they're also slower. They have the reflexes are slower, etc. So since a majority of women are physically inferior to a majority of men, again, there are exceptions to this. I've seen plenty of exceptions, but the exception does not make the rule. Because of this fact, because of the fact that a majority of men are physically stronger than a majority of women, they have to take the edge in a different category, right, guys? They have to beat you in a different category. And what do I mean by this? Well, if they can't beat you physically, then they have to beat you mentally. And this is a word that a lot of women have used in the past, and men get confused by it. And this is what you call emotional intelligence, right? Emotional intelligence, guys, is kind of, you know, EQ. It's like IQ, but EQ. And what I mean by this, it is part of your intelligence that you know, that involves the understanding of other people, their behaviors, etc. And this is very important for you guys to understand. As guys, and you know, even if women are watching my stream, the exact same is very important for you to be emotionally intelligent in this age. And the reason why is because, again, if women can't beat you physically, they better beat you mentally, right? But this is where you can gain the competitive advantage. And I'm going to tell you how. But first, we're going to react to this clip. And I'm going to show you what happens when you lack emotional intelligence as a man and you let your girl just do whatever she wants, right? You just let her go out with her friends. You know, it's just a girl's night out, or it's this, or it's that. It's just, I'm just going to his place. We're just friends. You know, we're just friends from like primary school or high school. And this is what happens when women emotionally are above you. They understand people at a rate that is higher than yourself. This is what happens. Let's play this clip.
Sometimes girls' nights will ruin your relationship. Honestly, a girls' night out is literally just never a girls' night out. It's never. Unfortunately, as much as we say it's a girls' night out, it's gonna end up in some deep shit. Chaos. Don't let your girls go out.
You guys don't believe me when I say it, so maybe you'll believe her when she says.
Sometimes girls' nights will ruin your relationship. Honestly, a girls' night out is literally just never a girls' night out. It's never. Unfortunately, as much as we say it's a girls' night out, it's gonna end up in some deep shit. Chaos. Don't let your girls go out.
You guys don't believe me when I say it, so maybe you'll believe her when she says.
So, yeah, so I'm gonna react to this clip, right? And it's only 17 seconds, so most of it's gonna be me talking, giving my commentary on it. But guys, as you can see, it's another street interview, and we got two girls. It looks like they're in some bar or nightclub, basically enjoying nightlife, right? They're all dressed up, they got their makeup on and everything. And what you can see from their appearance, guys, is that these women are probably not the most religious women, right? They're what you call like bimbos. You know what I'm saying? They're not the most religious. They probably have a high body count, etc. And that's the reason they probably know this information, is because they've been around to experience these sorts of things. Now, this is what they say about girls' night out.
Sometimes girls' nights will ruin your relationship. Honestly, a girls' night out is literally.
And, you know, he immediately goes to a friend and she's like, yeah, you know what? We just got to tell them the truth. And, you know,
Literally just never a girls' night out.
yeah, and she kind of looks, you know, at her friend and she's like saying, you know, girls' night out is never a girls' night out. Well, what do they mean by this, chat? They mean that it's not just a mutual night where we just have fun with a bunch of other women or a bunch of other girlfriends. You know, this is not what happens. And what that means, if you're able to deduce that, is that means that other men involved, right? There are other men involved in these nights. And it's not just the women. It's not just a fun, you know, we're going to go to this place and we're going to play mini golf and we're going to do parkour and we're going to watch the sunset by the beach and we're just going to do this. It's never like that, chat. It's never like that. There's always other men involved, whether they're at the bar or the nightclub or at the beach or walking down the street, and they will be approached, right? You can see that these women are wearing their makeup. They got like their best. They basically brought their A game, right, to girls' night. And again, this is another red flag where it's like, you know, if your girl is dressing up this nicely for girls' night, but she's not dressing up for you, you know, she might just be putting a little bit more effort into the thing that is less important. And I'm going to let this play through.
It's never. Unfortunately, as much as we say it's a girls' night out, it's gonna end up in some deep shit.
Yeah, and yeah, they say it. They just say it. They give you the brutal reality, right? They give you the red pill.
Chaos. Don't let your girls go out.
Yeah, don't let your girls go out. Now, of course, you know, this is insane because this has come from a woman who should be, again, child, what should the woman be? She should be a feminist woman, right? She should be a liberal, blue-pilled woman that, you know, women can do whatever they want, and you know, putting us at home and not allowing us to go out is oppressive, etc. But even she says, chat, don't go out. Don't let your girl go out.
You guys don't believe me when I say it,
Yeah,
so maybe you'll believe her when she says.
Yeah. So, you know, we gotta take the women's word for it now. You know, we can't believe any men because, you know, all men are like rapists, etc. So we can't believe any men. So we got to take it from the women. And I'm so glad, honestly, chat, that there are women like this to expose the truth. You know, like props to these girls. This clip probably ruined at least a few relationships, but you know, it is what it is. You know, and you know, I just put a bit of a cheeky reply here. Girls' night out is code for Tyrone has the biggest cylinder, and I want it. And a lot of the times, guys, it is right. As I told you, if your woman is putting more effort into dressing properly for, you know, a girls' night out, which should just be, you know, a bunch of friends hanging out, right? She's putting effort more into that than, you know, when you guys go out for date night. You know, it's never a good thing. It just never is, guys. It's just, you know, women will put the effort where they see the result. And if women are not putting the effort in with you or spending time with you, then you know that either she's doing something wrong or you're doing something wrong, pal. Like it's never a good sign if women stop putting effort into you. So yeah, I mean, that's that clip. We're going to go through something else, one more. And this is what somebody said, like America memed, you know, these TikToks that people download and they put onto Twitter. Thank God, because I don't use TikTok myself. And basically, this is a woman complaining about how men are saying, like, you know, we don't want to date hoes, etc. And this is what this woman says, where it's like, well, yeah, we can apply the same standard to men. And she goes off in this completely ridiculous rant that has nothing to do with the subject matter, as a lot of these feminist women do, chat. They don't understand objective reality. Everything for them is preferences, right? Morality is a set of preferences for these women. These women are not religious. They don't believe in a higher order. And because they don't believe in a higher order, chat, they don't appeal to that. And they believe that morality is, again, a set of preferences. I can do whatever I want, right? Because I have free will as a human being, etc. And she just completely turns an analogy, which is, I'll tell you what the analogy is right now before we play the clip. It is, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, right? It's basically saying you can't turn a harlot, like a slut, into a woman, like into a suitable wife. But she takes this phrase and she's like, why don't we just apply that to men? And, you know, this is like that 50-50 feminist. It's 50-50. It's a partnership. It's like this blue pill ideological lens that doesn't apply at all. It doesn't carry over. So we're going to play this clip in full, and I'm going to react to it.
Can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Okay, but women are supposed to turn felons, cheaters, and liars into kings?
Ma'am, no one said that you had to be with a felon. Why are y'all out here trying to be with felons? Y'all so desperate to be in a relationship, y'all pulled an Ash Trevino and decided to hang around county jails and state prisons looking for a man? Maybe y'all trying to lock those inmates down before the other girls meet them outside of the prison and the county jail by doing congregational visits. You're getting pregnant, having twins, and finding out that guy lied to you because he's really getting out in 25 years, not less. What happened to I know my worth? I'm not settling for bare minimum. I'm not lowering my standard. What do you think felons are? Last but not least, no one said that women had to turn felons, liars, and cheaters into kings. Y'all established it by saying, I can change him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to go through here, guys. I mean, this is insane, but we're gonna just give a quick analysis because I got to move on to the next topic. So we're gonna give a quick analysis here.
Can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Okay. But women are supposed to turn felons, cheaters, and liars into kings?
Yeah, so you can see her face, like it's immediately like she's got like that what like that crazy face, like that women do, or just people do in general. That crazy face, like those bulging eyes. It's like what? How dare you? Like when people are getting offended, the people like their pupils are dilated, like changing constantly, and the eyebrows are raised, which means like they're angry. You just got to read the body language, man. You don't even have to like listen to the audio. You can already tell like she's gonna say some ridiculous shit, which she does literally. And she says that, well, of course, okay, well, if we're gonna apply that standard to women, why can't we apply that to men? But she doesn't do it in the way that you're supposed to do it, chat. She says, why can't you turn? Hold on.
But women are supposed to turn felons, cheaters, and liars into kings?
Yeah, see, she just like says women are supposed to turn felons, cheaters, and liars into kings, and it's like, well, who told you to date these people? Like who told you to go after felon? Like who told you to go after criminal? Who told you to go after a liar, a cheater, etc.? And we're supposed to just turn them into a king? Like, no, of course not. Like what? Nobody told you to date, a felon, a convicted felon. Nobody told you to date like a liar or a bad guy or whatever, right? But they don't understand that, Chad, because as this caption explains, it literally just exposes what she's attracted to. What do I mean by this? Well, she literally just exposed what type of men she's attracted to, because now she's saying that, oh, I'm just supposed to turn like this guy that I'm talking to, like potentially that's like a cheater, liar, or felon into a king. Like, how am I supposed to do that? Well, guess what, bitch? You literally exposed who you're going after. And the guy who reacts to this clip says it brilliantly. He says, nobody's forcing you to go after these types of men, right? Nobody's forcing you to go after them and make them into kings. And, the reply is a genius. Like, I don't think these women had fathers. Lol, you're supposed to leave these types of men alone, but you refuse any. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they literally don't have to be with these people. And this guy gets a right. This Christian guy gets a right. Women don't have to be with felons, cheats, and liars. That's just what they like. Now, unfortunately, guys, this is true. We know the whole thing about the nice guys finish last thing, where these retarded simps finish last. And unfortunately, a majority of men are like this. A majority of men will watch this clip, chat. They'll watch this clip of this woman nagging, essentially, and making a bullshit argument, not even carrying the argument in the same way. And they will agree. I'm like, yeah, of course you can't turn a liar, cheater, or felon into, a king. Of course you can't do that. But what they don't understand is that she's not talking about, the good men. She's not talking about that. She's talking about the men who are she's attracted to, and that's not the nice guy, obviously. And this is what I said. Women will throw cake at the bad guy and throw bills at the nice guy. It's just a simple one liner. I don't think there's really any much more to be said. But guys, this is the dating market. As I said, we reacted to a bunch of clips. We reacted to, a bunch of stuff that's going on. And yeah, I mean, the situation is absolutely cooked. And this is the problem with being a blue pill simp that looks through the ideological lens of idealism, right? Looking through the lens of people, looking at people as constantly so good and ideal, and they're going to behave in the best way, and they're going to be so good to you. When in reality, we know this is not the case for men and women, whether this is a non-romantic relationship or a romantic relationship, right? So we know that people that look through the lens of idealism will often be, the nice guy. Sorry, I'm losing my voice, but blue pill simp, etc. So you don't do that, guys. Don't do that. And of course, study these topics, read the books. I'm going to give a bunch of book links at the end of this week to the stuff that I'm reading, and I'm going to tune you guys into it as well, because I know how important it is to keep up to date with these topics. But yeah, guys, that's it for our first topic. We're going to be moving on to the second topic, which is the Iran war. Now, guys, yesterday night, an Australian Air Force base was hit in Dubai, and apparently it was struck by Iran. And I'm just going to get this up I'm gonna get this clip up real quick. This is 9 News, guys. We're gonna watch. Let's see. We're gonna watch this clip. Australian troops have been declared safe following a drone attack at Dubai Air Force Base. And let's see what 9 News has to say. Even though it's mainstream media, guys, I'll play it through.
Shop now at JD Sports.
See this number? It could either save you money or make you $52.
I'm not going to react.
Let me show you.
Guys,
if you've got health insurance, speak to our select before most prices rise on April 3rd.
Well, Australian troops have been declared safe following a drone attack near a Dubai airbase. A senior fellow for military studies, Mick Ryan, joins me now from Brisbane to discuss that attack over the weekend. Mick, we've also just seen an attack on the US consulate in Dubai. Australia has 100 personnel currently stationed right across the Middle East. What is their threat level right now?
Yeah, g'day, Carl. I mean, those people in Dubai will be under the same threat as the rest of the United Arab Emirates, which has seen over 800 drones and nearly 200 ballistic missiles targeted at its territory. So they'll be hunkering down, whilst at the same time preparing to help evacuate Australian citizens.
Now, that is a task. We have a huge number of Australians in the region, more than 100,000. Nervous time for them. The logistics of extraction are near impossible, right? Especially with that airspace closed, commercial airline is not able to come in or out. The US is sending military aircraft to get people out. When does it get to that point for us?
Well, it could get there pretty quickly if this war continues, which I expect it will. It was never going to be a short war. Iran is not Venezuela. So if there are Australians who want to get out of UAE and commercial means aren't available, the Australian government will have to consider air or other means of getting Australians out.
How does that work?
Well, this is a well-rehearsed procedure in the government and certainly in the Australian Defence Force, something Australian military personnel are very proud that they're able to do for their fellow citizens. It could be a mix of ground transport to other airports further away. It could be military or leased aircraft going in there, but it will really depend on the government of the UAE and the United States clearing foreign aircraft into those airfields at this point in time.
100,000 people moving 100,000 ain't no easy task. Look, none of this appears to be going very quickly. It's likely to get, as you point out, messier and messier with flow-on effects globally. What are we in for?
Well, I think you'll see the Iranians continue to fire off drones and missiles. This is existential for the Iranian regime, so they're not going to give up. And they just have to survive. They don't have to beat the Americans here. Regime survival is victory for the Iranians, and that's what they're hanging on for. We're seeing a variety of different rationales for this war out of the Trump administration. It'll be interesting to see how long they can sustain their attention on it.
Good to talk to you, Mick. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so, this is insane, guys. This is absolutely insane. An Australian Air Force base has been hit in Dubai. And so this is what I'm talking about. We don't want Australia to be involved in this whatsoever. Australia is not a Muslim country. It's not a Jewish country. We have absolutely nothing to do with what's happening in the Middle East, And so, I just don't know. Let's look at Anthony Albanese. Let's see if he's made a statement. Of course he hasn't, because he doesn't give a shit. But God, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't said anything about this, and this is insane. And this is what I said. An Australian Air Force base was bombed in Dubai and caught in the crossfire. Not a peep from you, though. Don't get us dragged into something that has nothing to do with us. And that is what I'm talking about, And that is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, where the frustration comes in with this administration, where it's like, we don't have to follow the history. We don't have to repeat Iraq. We don't have to repeat Libya. We don't have to repeat Afghanistan. We know that these wars were based on predicated lies told by the Zionist policymakers. We know that J Street and AIPAC and all these other organizations have been lobbying U.S. government for years. And we know that Americans don't want this war as well, guys. I want to look into, this recent thing, and we're going to look at what's happening with Dubai, because the Australian Air Force Base, as I said, is in Dubai. into Dubai. And we're going to look at all the bombings in Dubai right now. This is Suleiman Ahmed. We're going to be looking through because he's been updating the situation the most. Let's look at all the Dubai incidents, you know. Baghdad, Bahrain. I mean, all these countries are getting bombed, guys. This is insane. Ah, God. Greater. Okay. Hold on, where's Dubai? Jerusalem. 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 Bet Shemesh. Jerusalem. Oh, this is Dubai. This was 3 hours ago, chat. This was 3 hours ago. Is this a drone strike or what is this? Let's hold on. Let's play this clip real quick. What is this? Where's it go? Apparently, guys, the U.S. embassy in Dubai was struck. I'm not sure if this is the U.S. embassy, but
move. Nikal. Another drone. Well, leave from there.
Yeah, insane stuff, man. Well, Dubai's getting hit, and you know why everybody's focusing on Dubai? The reason why everybody's focusing on Dubai because we know that Dubai is like one of the world's hottest tourist spots and commercial destinations. It's constantly being advertised. I went there; it's a great city. I went there 2-3 times, and it's great. I went to the rest of the UAE, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, etc. And I can tell you that these people are not used to getting bombed. And you might be like, wait, Sabia, they're in the Middle East. Aren't they just used to it by now? Aren't they just used to war? Not Dubai, guys. And I actually want to pull up a map real quick of hold on. Suleiman had the map, right? So guys, this is ignore the meme, but this is where Dubai is, right? As you can see, I'm hovering my mouse over it. This is where the UAE is. They are on the tip. They are on the horn of what we call the Persian Gulf. Specifically, this area is the Strait of Hormuz. And this is where Iran is controlling all the oil. And this is why oil prices are going to go through the fucking roof, right? So, guys, this area, right, this entire area is what we call the Arabian Peninsula. Now, these countries in particular along the coast of the Iranian Peninsula are what we call the Gulf countries, right? They are part of the Gulf. So what are these countries? They are starting from up here, right? You have Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, you have UAE, Oman, etc. You have Yemen, you have Saudi Arabia. All of these countries are Gulf countries, right? And they are not used to, chat. They are not used to this ridiculous war mongering. And since they're not used to this ridiculous warmongering by who, we don't even have to say it, they are very inexperienced. They don't own guns. They're guys that went to Dubai. It's a completely safe city. They don't own guns. They don't own, they don't own guns. They're not military ready. Do they even have an army? I have no idea. But this is why people are talking about Dubai, because Dubai has been said to be the safest city in the entire world, and people are doubting that now. I seriously doubt it. And there's this propaganda program to get influencers to post about how safe Dubai is, like Andrew Tate and stuff like that. But I don't know. Let's look at some other updates real quick. Jerusalem is being hit right now, and as you guys know, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Al-Aqsa Pound is in Jerusalem. And let's see what this is. But before that, let's go into this. West Azerbaijan. Okay. What else? We're going to go through all these updates here, guys, okay? This is the Iran war update. Damn. I don't know where they bombed it. What the hell? Okay. U.S. base in Baghdad.
يا صاحب
You
الزمان
can see the smoke now. So it's been
ضربوا
bombed by
المطار
Iran.
عاشت المقاومة اللهم احفظ المقاومة وأيدهم وانصرهم بنصرك يا الله اللهم عجل
Yeah,
يا
this guy's crazy. And this is Bahrain, is it? This is a Iranian drone. As you can see, it's flying over. Direct impact. It's gonna hit a building. I know. It's gonna hit something. Insane, man. And by the way, guys, as I said, Bahrain's a Gulf country, so they're not used to this as well. That's why you could hear in the clip that they were getting like super shocked and shit. You know? What else is there? Jerusalem, Israel.
شو يا تنبل خد سيف شو بابا
Yo, the Jewish niggas got the accent, man.
شو
You can hear it.
جو انت باو بقول لكم كنسو جو اتصور بقول لكم سمدوا لك
This is posted on Telegram. I'm trying to think of should get Telegram.
הכל טוב, תירגעו. עצרו, תירגעו. כנסו, בואו לשם, בואו, כנסו, רוצו לקירור. יור, יא טמבל. חי.
Direct to Jerusalem. Yeah, it's the same thing. Betchin is in Israel. Where is it? Where is it at? Is it coming? Where's the missile? I know I can hear the sirens. Oh, there it is. Oh shit. Guys, those are the interceptor missiles, by the way. Just to let you know. And these interceptor missiles, guys, they're very costly. They're like $10 million a missile. So these guys are draining US taxpayer money. And this is what a US senator said. This is Chris Murphy. I'm not sure if he's a Democrat or he's a Democrat from Connecticut. So see, look, this is the insanity, right? This is the insanity where it's like, oh, well, the Democrats don't support this war. Actually, they do. And we know that both sides of the aisle are owned by Israel. We know that both sides of the aisle are owned by AIPAC. So, you know, I have a little saying, guys, left or right wing, the blood will always fly to Israel. And this is the U.S. Senator Chris Murphy. He's a Democrat. You know, he's a Democrat. He's supposed to be against the war, you know, because Democrats are for peace. They're obviously not. They're two sides of the same coin. And this is what he said about U.S. soldiers getting killed. Apparently, he's saying more are going to be killed, and that's inevitable. This is crazy, bro. Hold on. They told us in this room. So they briefed him and said that more Americans are going to die.
Senate. This is as serious as it gets. This is war and peace. They told us in that room that there are going to be more Americans that are going to die, that they are not in the short run going to be able to stop these drones that are going to continue to fly into the Middle East. We have to have a debate in the United States Senate on an authorization of military force. It will likely fail. And we shouldn't be voting to proceed to other pieces of legislation until we get a debate on this deeply unpopular, immoral, and illegal war with Iran. Senate. This is as serious as it gets.
So
this is war and
giving
peace.
his 2 cents, and he's doing his little monkey dance to say, "Oh, I don't support this war, but bitch, you did." And actually, this is interesting, guys, because Congress needs to vote before the United States can go into war. And that is why the president has been saying these are just, Iranian strikes. It's not a war. Like he's basically avoided every single word except for the word war. He's avoided every single word that has to do with war because he knows that Congress needs to pass an act to make sure that the United States can go to war. I'm sure you know about Iraq, but guys, American Congress had to approve that decision for the U.S. to go to war with Iraq for it to happen. And this is why people like Congressman Thomas Massey, Republican congressman, he's a patriot, by the way, guys. This is why people like him are so important because we know that he is basically trying to stop. He's trying to make sure that this requirement of Congress voting on this war needs to be fulfilled. And he's created a bill to essentially block the United States from going to war with Iran. and he's trying to co-author that bill with Representative Ro Khanna. So this is what he's saying. This is a clip from Theo Bond, and this is what he's saying. There's only one group that's clearly winning in this war, and that's the military-industrial complex. Let's watch this clip.
A few people in America do make money off of war, and they make a lot of money off of war. So they want the music to keep going. They don't want the music to stop.
Right.
And as soon as, Biden was serious about getting out of Afghanistan and did get us out of Afghanistan, we were still spending $50 billion a year in Afghanistan after 20 years.
Alexa.
As soon as he got us out of there, guess what? We start spending an average of $50 billion a year in Ukraine. And now that that's winding down, guess what? This thing in Iran is heating up. And regardless of whether our troops engage directly, those are all American munitions. And those stocks are, the people who run those companies are excited that now, as soon as we deplete our stockpiles, we're going to have to fill them back up. Like, it's not like they're holding a bunch of inventory, but the U.S. government does. Those are ostensibly, those are weapons that are supposed to defend us that are now being used. And so they know we'll buy them back. And I have this theory that there's about $50 billion a year of things that need to get blown up and replaced in order for that segment of the economy to stay healthy.
Wow. So, yeah, he makes a great point, chat, about the United States not benefiting from this war. Only the military-industrial complex will benefit from this war. I want to see what Ro Khanna said, chat. So let's go into Representative Khanna's Twitter. Let's see what he's saying. Oh, this is not. Hold on, I want to see Rep. Well, what did he say? Oh no, fuck. Let's go to his personal. Yeah, so thank you, Rep. Jimmy Panetta, for his service to our nation, moral clarity. Yeah, so he's saying that I will vote. So this representative saying I will vote for the bipartisan War Powers resolution mandating congressional authorization. Exactly what I said. Congress has to vote on this, guys. Otherwise, this is an illegal act of war. Once again, our president has not abided by the Constitution when it comes to invading foreign sovereign states. This is why Congress must fulfill our obligations under the Constitution by supporting this week's bipartisan War Powers resolution. And, this is, the APAC tracker. This guy's accepted more than 1 million, so fuck this guy. But still, he's doing what he's got to do. So, props to him. But we're going to jump into the space, guys, before we move on to the next topic. The Suleiman Ahmed is hosting right now. Let's see the latest updates.
Give you some information about Turkey's position and especially the Azerbaijan, northern Iran position about the recent news. So I just got information from there's a Turkic city in Iran which is called Urmia, and if you see some maps about the Kurdish region in Iran, Urmia is shown inside that map. So the Kurdish population in Iran is not that big, so that map is not realistic. It is a it's a maximalist map, so it covers more than that they can. But the problem is now United States or Israel is bombing that Urmia region. So it feels like those regions are bombed to prepare any kind of Kurdish invasion into Urmia, which is in fact West Azerbaijan. So Turkey and Azerbaijan has very close relations, and it means that Turkey cannot stay silent in case of any kind of attack from Kurds to Turks. So Turkey will some way have to intervene in this situation. So it can be first way is to attack the Kurds, or I don't want to use the word Kurds because not all Kurds are in this will be in this attack. It is mainly the PKK, the terrorist organization, or the PEJAK, which is also a terrorist organization defined by UN and United States. So we will need to.
What is this? Truth is you. Hold on. Let's refresh Twitter chat. This thing is so gay.
Hi, Truth. Do you want to do a mic check?
Yeah. No, there's nothing you can do when they just decide to crash to space. Like they may like for the other times, you can tell like the audio kind of goes off. So there's an issue. Where you get that. So I didn't even get that notification. The Iran war against U.S. and Israel. Lots happened in the last 4 days. Iran struck and destroyed a lot of military bases and assets within the region across the Persian Gulf, especially in Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, even Oman, Cyprus as well, and of course Israel heavily. And yeah, according to various U.S. military analysts, the likes of Scott Ritter, Colonel McGregor, and even CIA intel analyst Larry Johnson, they all state that it looks like Iran's winning. They're carrying out a successful strategy with this blitz they've done. They've caught the U.S. off guard, and Israel, of course, too. They're now currently running out of interceptor missiles, and they've been able to really dominate and overwhelm and breach the air defense systems. Or
guys, we
well
are
integrated air
going
defense systems
we're
that
going to be in the
they
space,
don't have enough
and then
interceptors
after
for
being
that
in the space, guys,
could be
we're
done with their ability to defend in the next couple of
gonna
days.
be
And Trump's already trying to beg for a
covering the last
ceasefire
topic, guys, which
through the State Department. They contacted Italy and asked Iran for a
Nick
ceasefire. They said
basically
no.
crashed out, guys.
So Iran, there's zero communication between.
Yeah, guys, Nick basically crashed out. He basically crashed out on the GOP, and he's like, "Don't vote ever again." And we're gonna go through the clip, so don't worry about that.
Struck, sunk. They put some bogus AI video. Turns out it's still, in the waters, still floating around. So there's gonna be lots of these types of lies out there. Of course, lying. The biggest lie is, of course, casualty count. Trump doesn't want to tell the truth to the American public, but then he goes and tells the New York Times, "Well, actually, the numbers are actually a lot higher. I just was basing what I said on projections. I just really said way lower than what I know it is. 3. Turns out it's 6. It's way higher." And they've lost a ton of assets. There's probably over 40 to 50 billion dollars of damage. Could be over 100 billion very soon. And there's not much they can do about it. They've kind of given up on defending the Gulf states now, so those assets are basically done. And even CIA assets are getting hit because Iran's got a massive, intricate list. They know where all the assets are with help from China and their sophisticated spy satellite system. They still have their radars in check, and they also do their own cyber hacking, and they have viewed their own spy satellites, so they're watching carefully as to what's up. So this is, as I mentioned before, it's propaganda war. They're doing a psychological warfare as well. They're doing their best to keep the American populace brainwashed with a lot of lies. Trump's trying to up his popularity because for whatever reason Americans think wars are cool. I'm not talking about you guys, but many idiots do. Yeah, we're gonna go bomb another Middle Eastern country, kill some more browns. Fucking retards still out there saying shit like that. Let them. Who cares? But what should come to light sooner than later is it's not going so well. It's not Iraq. It's not Afghanistan or Libya, Syria, Yemen, etc. Iran's been around a long time, and they're showing the world who they are. Gradually liberating the Middle East from the oppression that's been dealing and the illegal occupation with these terrorist bases. It should never have been there in the first place. Neither should Israel. So the worst is yet to come, I believe, and see how things continue to unfold, and how many of the lies they'll continue to spew to claim that it's going well when it's not. So we'll also see how much they want to expend towards this war that has no path to victory. So there's a little summary, and I'll provide some more updates as well soon. Looks like Tito did some amazing work with his new AI video. I know he spent a lot of time on it. You guys should definitely give it a like, comment. I'll probably share myself. I know he spent a shit ton of time on it. I'm going to take a look at it first. Yeah, thanks for your work, Tito. Appreciate it. Yeah, good to have Joanna Lavelle here. Thanks for helping me co-host. Been going for think 5-6 hours now. Maybe a little bit longer as well. We're just spoiled right now. All these headline news coming out, you know. Are you tired of all this winning? I could actually say that with regard to what Iran's doing. Do the militaries still feel that, though? Are they reaping all the benefits of this illegal war? No, they'd rather point the finger at the Somalians. It's all their fault that the economy sucks, right? And the gas prices are up. It's because of all the fraud the Somalians commit. Anyway, if you haven't already, please read through the space. I got super chats and that. If you have a comment or question, I will respond. Over to Joanne Lavelle.
Yeah. Thank you so much for hosting, Truth and Lavelle. Thank you so much for being here. And guys, yeah, please repost the space. And if you guys go to it, I will also repost it. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Armanchi, go for it. You were talking and then it just got knocked.
Hi, can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically this is my question, is that we've seen a lot of the war with Iran. It's good. Everything is looking hard for the States. My question is that I believe the world works by an agenda and everything falls into the agenda. And Iran was told to us by that professor or that the commander, the military commander, like 6-7 years ago, that 7 countries will fall and the final one will be, I think, Wesley Clark.
That was in 2001 by General Jew Wesley Clark.
Yeah, Wesley Clark said that the final one will be Iran. So obviously, I feel like there was an agenda in place back in the day. My question is that with
it's called the Clean Break Memo.
Yeah, okay. So
PNAC actually had the 7 countries, not Clean Break. Go on.
So my question is that obviously there's an agenda. If Iran wins, will this mean that there'll be a glitch in the agenda? And also, when you have a house and you see a cockroach in the house, that means there's probably a lot more cockroaches. So even if Iran is victorious, will this change and be an improvement for humanity? Or am I being negative, or should I be positive? I'm kind of confused. What do you guys think?
Well, look, it depends on how you define a victory. I mean, Iran's objectives are to get rid of all the military bases within the Middle East and deal with Israel, however it's going to do that. And then I'm not sure what other plans they may have for the Gulf states, traders, how they're going to respond, if say they're not protected anymore. So in terms of dealing with the Jewish problem, that's a much bigger challenge. Right now, it's just trying to clear the Middle East. Yeah, you mentioned a glitch in the system. It'd be a lot more than that if Israel were no longer there, or if it got restored to Palestine and they took a huge L. But they're going to try and spin it any which way they can and, avoid that type of outcome and by any means possible, because these people are the ultimate deceivers and they just don't tell the truth about anything. And they'll try to claim some kind of victory lap just to be able to maintain morale. Because, they got to make up for that insecurity. They don't have the ability to just acknowledge, yeah, we fucked up, failed. It was a dumb idea. Even though all the top generals said it was and all the analysts said it was, they just don't listen. So, glitch in the system. I mean, I don't think the Jews are having a good time right now in Israel, hanging out in bunkers smelling like shit. And then you're hearing reverberations of those massive bombs being dropped and the air defense system's failing. And now Iran has bunker busters. So they're living in fear and panic right now. So,
do you believe there's an agenda?
Well, I mean, of course there's an agenda. But do you think but the part you got wrong is that they actually wanted to attack Iran much earlier. They didn't have an order for all these countries they attacked. There was more than 7. It was Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Libya,
Somalia,
Lebanon, Yemen. Let me finish. Lebanon, Yemen, Pakistan, Somalia. Iran's on that list, of course. Sudan too, by the way. So they're up to like 10 countries. And their main agenda was to, try to acquire resources, steal resources, control trade routes, install puppet regimes. They would be compliant and accept Israel, normalize through things like the Abraham Accords. So they just wanted to create a region that would essentially just bend to Israel as well. So Israel could be the only superpower or regional power there. I think now gradually they're striving towards Great Reset and also the Greater Israel Project as well, so that Israel can be the world's new superpower as they collapse and bankrupt America with what could be potential World War III if that happens. But yeah, if Iran is able to rock how's the U.S. going to respond? Are they just going to keep throwing more more resources at a war they can't win? Are they going to maybe even resort to some kind of ground invasion? And I don't think they will if they get their asses handed to them, because it's not sustainable. A war of attrition can't happen if you don't have access to proper supply chain, refueling ports, for instance. They don't have, it's too far away. Again, steady, consistent weapon flow coming in. You really got to mute your mic, man. If I'm talking, I do the same when you talk. So I don't see the thanks. I don't see a path to victory for the U.S. And all Iran has to do is withstand whatever pressure it's dealing with and continue doing what it's doing. Doesn't even really need to change course that much. They will. They're going to use heavier weapons once the interceptor missiles run out. What's the U.S. going to do? It's going to take way too long to retool. They're going to try and beg for a ceasefire. Iran will only accept terms of surrender, but even then, there's a price to pay for killing the supreme leader, and they'll decide when that price is paid. They'll involve maybe a whole lot of compensation at this point, though some may think the sanctions matter. They've learned to bypass the sanctions. They got solid trade deals in place. They're building up their economy despite the challenges. So it's really a matter of what Iran wants out of this. They may want Trump's head. They may want Netanyahu's head. I don't know. That's up to them. So time will tell. It's going to be a long, drawn-out conflict far beyond 4 or 5 weeks. I believe. It could be wrong. No one's got a crystal ball to know the future. So expect the unexpected, and maybe even resort to using a nuke at some point, or a tactical one, because these people play dirty, and they're already resorting to Daya doctrine, destroying schools, killing kids, destroying hospitals, civilian infrastructure, etc. They failed to try to trigger an internal coup, an uprising. So, they're resorting to the military option, and that's failing. We'll see what happens. Go ahead, LaBelle.
Yeah, I think X is cracking down on these accounts. So that account, military update, Iran military updates. They suspended it a couple of hours ago. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
I was following it. It was one
Telling
of
too many
my.
truths, huh? Man, I guess
Most
their
of
feelings got
most
hurt.
of these accounts are grifters, and there are usually non-Iranians behind them.
Yeah, no, this one's pretty good with the updates. Even Kim.com posted about it, saying why they suspended it. Your favorite.
Because they're telling them too many truths and making the U.S. look bad. Who knows?
Well, the comment section's hilarious. It's just people shitting on the Jews and saying, "Oh, why? Because a tanker or something got sunk by Iranians. You guys don't want to know the truth." Blah blah blah. Everybody's going in on them.
I think 10 tankers have been struck. A bunch of them sunk, except for maybe one. So they're doing serious damage. And look, Trump lies all the time. Here's another lie. First, he says the Strait of Hormuz is opened. We demanded it to be open. And then he's like, well, we're actually going to be accompanying all of our U.S. oil tankers with, military vessels. Well, I mean, why do you need military vessels for if it's still open? What are you scared of? And this is an absolutely stupid plan, as McGregor says. And this is on behalf of the U.S., by the way, because you're literally bringing in those vessels within range of Iran's missiles. Of course, they have longer range missiles than that anyway. Yeah, you're making it really easy now. Go for it, buddy. And plus, the oil's right there, too. I mean, you're literally giving them like a 2 for 3 for. So, yeah, stick an oil tanker in between like two vessels. What could possibly go wrong if they get struck, right?
And in comparison, how many tankers are there and how many ships they already have there? Like they have 2, 3, whatever. Then there's like thousands of tankers. And no, the guy is a joke. He's just a pathetic, sad joke.
Okay. You wanna enter the Iranian meat grinder? Hey, go for it. And you know what? Good. Don't rule out a ground invasion. You should go for that too. When's Barron going to sign up?
Guys, make sure to like and repost the space. We've got like 300 people in here. I want to see 100 fucking reposts. Pick up your slack. Let's keep pushing the information, since this information war is a part of the war that is really important. But Sabir, go ahead, bro.
Hey man, hey Lavelle, how you doing? Hey Joanne, hey Truth. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak, man. I've been here for a while. I've been speaking on these spaces for a while, and it's great. So we have to look at this from every single standpoint, right? We have to look at this from the military standpoint. We have to look at it from the financial standpoint. We have to look at it from the spiritual standpoint, because people on other spaces have been making great points, guys, about what's going to happen and what are the predictions. Now, from the military standpoint, we know that these interceptor missiles that Israel has are incredibly costly, right? Something between, $10 million per interceptor missile. And when you're firing 10, 11, 12, 13 of these interceptor missiles, you're using a lot of taxpayer money, especially US taxpayer money. And that's something that frustrates me a lot, is that they are literally paying, Americans are literally paying for other people.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care about, and it's not taxpayer money. They print money out of thin air.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane, right? But it's essentially like $40 million, $50 million, $200 million just spent in a day. And the missiles, if you guys can see, these hypersonic missiles, guys, they obviously will be able to deflect and be still able to hit their target within quite good of a range, whether it's 9 feet or 3 meters or whatever, whatever measurement that you use. These missiles, guys, are incredibly accurate. And even if they do get intercepted, the shrapnel is still enough to cause...
Can't be intercepted.
Sorry?
There's no air defense for a hypersonic missile.
Yeah. And they're being, they're hitting their targets pretty well here. And, from the military standpoint, as Truth said, this is a war of attrition. All Iran has to do is make sure that the regime change is not successful and they can hold out a ground invasion. And they hurt the U.S. allies in the Middle East. They hurt Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, UAE, etc. And they just hit their bases and their oil refineries because they know that these countries are not strong enough to attack back. And that is why they might be avoiding direct confrontation with the United States on the continental United States, because we know that if Iran struck the continental United States, that would be a completely different ballgame. But they don't need to be doing that, guys. And so, we can also look at this from the financial standpoint, where it's, you look at every country's balance sheet, you look at these top companies' balance sheets, and you understand how important these companies are, right? Like DP World, which ports they control, etc. And this is what Simon Dixon said. And I'm sure you guys know who Simon Dixon is, but he's a great guy. And he's been saying, just looking at it from the financial standpoint, that these people, Iran is essentially attacking these important ports, these oil refineries, etc. We just saw, Saudi getting hit yesterday with these oil refineries in Riyadh, etc. And, that's one way. And then the next way is a war of confusion, right? We saw that Tucker Carlson reported just yesterday that Mossad agents were being arrested in countries like Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and they were planning on committing bombings in these countries. Now, contrary to what the mainstream media has said, Iran has been attacking these countries, and apparently they've been made to be the great evil in this region, right? When we know about the truth, we know about the Jays, we know about the Jews, we know about their power influence, etc. We know who's the real evil in this case. But again, Mossad agents were literally caught in Qatar and Saudi Arabia trying to commit bombings in these countries. Now, why is that? Well, maybe it's because that, they're obviously trying to create the confusion and these false flag attacks like what we saw in Austin, Texas. Of course, it's a horrible attack. And, I pray for these victims. But, come on, man, they got to do a better job than write, property of Allah on the hoodie. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous at this point. It's like they're not even trying. And they obviously don't care. And there are very few people, guys. We look at it from the legal perspective now. We covered military and financial. You cover it from the legal perspective. And there's really only a few people in the United States Congress, like Thomas Massey and Representative Ro Khanna, that's actually trying to at least hold the United States from getting onto a full-scale invasion with Iran through, these acts, these bills that they're trying to sign to make sure that Congress has to vote on this first before they go into this. Otherwise, this is obviously an illegal invasion of a sovereign country like Iran. Now, we cover the financial, military, and legal. Well, what about the spiritual? A Persian in Suleiman Space made this great point where he said that the Iranian people are very spiritual people. They're very religious. They're very, faithful to their leader. And the reason why Khamenei was taken out, whether you like him or not, is because he was seen as that, not just a supreme leader, but he was seen as the heart of the Iranian people. And he was seen as that guy. He was seen as the leader. And taking him out would essentially, in the Israelis' perspective, take out the heart of the Iranian people. And, of course, they have replacements ready. We know about this, right? They have 4 replacements ready. And these people are ready to die. And the dangerous mentality for the Iranians is that what the United States and Israel doesn't realize is that these people, for them to die, it's like an achievement. It's like martyrdom. They're ready to do it. You know, they're excited to do it, and it's, you know, whether you agree with that philosophy or not, this is how they think. And, you know, we have to think about this from all lenses, as I said, the financial, the military, the legal, the spiritual, etc. And we have to come through a ground-based conclusion. And that's why, for example, Simon Dixon got his predictions wrong when he said that the U.S. wouldn't invade Iran, and U.S. and Israel wouldn't bomb Iran, and Iran wouldn't bomb these ports, because he was looking at it from a purely financial perspective, and he was forgetting the military perspective. He was forgetting the spiritual perspective, the legal perspective, etc., the political perspective, the ideological perspective, where he just looked at the balance sheets of the countries, and he looked at companies like DP World, and we know about the Epstein files and how the DP World CEO resigned because of that. And he said, well, these ports are way too important to be bombed, and this would be to Iran's detriment financially. Well, what you guys have to realize is that everybody doesn't care about money. Yeah.
Wait. Are you telling me the Jewish guy on Solomon's Space just focused on the financial stuff because that's all that matters to him and doesn't care about any of the other stuff? And of course, he never points the finger at the Jews because, well, his mom's Jewish, of course. Well, it's very always quick to want to blame the Christian evangelicals who he claims have all the power. You telling me he got some predictions wrong because he fails to understand the real dynamics and factors at play here? The fact that Israel controls the U.S., though he says it's the other way around. He says Israel is a military outpost of the U.S. and they're the ones calling the shots. He spews a lot of bullshit. So I'm actually glad you brought that up for everyone to hear, because the Jew will always, again, shy away from calling out his own people and the fact that they're the ones responsible for, you know, all these crimes, illegal invasions, and they're actually the ones running the U.S. and their foreign policy. So he's been given a platform to spew his bullshit and lies for so long, and some people fall for his crap, you know, because he doesn't want to look at anything beyond the financials, and he makes these lofty predictions claiming that it's in fact the Gulf states, the GCC, that's the power broker and the main players, and that, you know, they're the ones that are in charge. Well, if they're in charge, large and in charge, how come they can't even defend their own airspace, and they're crying that the U.S. is no longer defending them anymore? So it's good. You should absolutely call out his bullshit. I heard he was called out the other day for making all these false predictions, because when he mentioned Christian evangelicals, someone came back and said, yeah, they all believe in Jewish supremacy too, just like the Jews in charge. So it's good. Keep calling out the gaslighters.
Yeah, sorry, Truth. Are we talking about the same guy? Are we talking about Simon Dixon?
I call him Simon Dickhead, but yeah.
Well, I don't know, bro. He said he was Muslim, so I don't know about this, but
he's a Jew.
He's a convert. He's a crypto Jew. His mother's Jewish, his dad's Christian, and then he claims he found Islam. But I mean, again, that's what crypto Jews do, right?
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for telling me that. But you know, that's what he said, and that Suleiman called him out on the spot, bro, and he said that, you know, you looked at this purely from the finance.
Suleiman's been allowing his bullshit for a long time. He finally called him out, which is good, but after months of lies.
He also says that the GCC is in charge and not actually the Jews. So
Suleiman is a grifter. That's why he never explains about some of the bullshit that he posts once in a while. And every time anything is in the timelines, he exaggerates the fuck out of it and puts it in his fucking title. The guy is a clown. He's a grifter, nothing more.
Right. Yeah. That's what I said, though. You know, he considered from the financial perspective only. And so he didn't consider it from the other perspectives, and that's why.
Well, from the financial perspective is also wrong. It's not the GCC who is in charge.
That's not accurate. What he didn't do is want to call out the Jews and claim the religion's just been hijacked, as if the Jews were only troublemakers since 1948. You know, forgetting about the fact they've been kicked out of 109 countries 1,034 times, and that they do things like Jewry and degeneracy everywhere they go. Sacrifice too. What does that have to do with Zionism? He just wants to squarely blame Zionism, so this way blame anyone and everyone but the Jews. He'll blame Christian Zionists, hardly Muslim Zionists, but you know, he won't blame the Jews. Wonder why that is.
Yeah, bro, Muslim Zionists are fucking retarded. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, Laval, I wanted to ask you, bro. The Australian Air Force Base got hit in Dubai, and I live near an Air Force Base, so what do you think's gonna happen, bro? Do you think we're gonna get involved? I hope not, man. Like,
bro, Australia is a fucking joke, cuz. You know what's gonna happen here, bro? We're gonna have a shortage of toilet paper, and our petrol's gonna be expensive. That's the worst that's gonna happen to us during this Iran war, and it's already started, bro. It's fucking look. I love living here. I love being Australian. I love the lifestyle, the women, the food, everything. Yeah, like the
You're in
culture's
Sydney,
cool,
man.
but it's cooked, bro. Like, cuz, come on, man. Like, how are we having a toilet paper shortage and during a war with Iran? Like, that's fucking retarded.
Have you been at the fuel
But
station
yeah.
recently, bro? Have you fueled up? Like, you got
Yeah, but I got a Mad Connect. I paid like $1.73 for 98 premium.
right? Okay, right.
Yeah, yeah.
$1.73. That's
Okay, I
crazy.
have a couple of updates. Okay. Um, so there is red alert in the Israeli-Lebanon border. There is also an Israeli drone that was shot down over Kerman in eastern Iran. U.S. airstrikes in Tabriz in northern Iran. Also, U.S.-Israeli attacks in Urmia in western Iran. U.S.-Israeli airstrikes in Kerman and Shah, western Iran.
Does he even follow Joanne?
And hold on, there's another one. Okay. The consequences of attacks on Iran, Trump's emergency meeting with arms magnates after the depletion of U.S. weapons supplies as the results of aggressive attacks on Iran. The administration summoned the defense industry leaders to the White House. And at the same time, the Pentagon requested an additional funding of $50 billion to make up for the shortage. And yeah, that's it. All right.
Thank you for the updates. Guys, like and repost the space. I'm still not seeing 100 reposts for the amount of number that we have in here. And honestly, Truth Space is probably one of the very few spaces that deserve to be pushed out more, especially against this aggressive fucking Semitic algorithm. And then we'll just run through the hands. I'm not too sure who was next.
Oh, okay. Hezbollah missile strikes an Israeli settlement in Metula. And the Metula siren alert is ringing in Metula settlement near the Israeli-Lebanese border. All right. Yeah, there is like a big warning in the.
All right, guys, we're gonna be moving on to the last
Dancing,
topic,
go for
which
it.
is
Welcome.
Oh, hi.
Great space, by the way.
Since
Go
Lavelle
for it,
mentioned
Priscilla.
stuff about gas and gas prices, I was a kid in the 70s, and during the 1979 energy crisis, I
Go
remember
follow Truth Teller,
only being
guys.
able to get
He
gas
is a
every
legend.
other day,
But
depending
yeah,
on
we're gonna go
whatever
through
your
the last
license
topic
plate
real
number
quick
was,
here, guys.
and
This is
waiting in lines
Nick
for like
Fuentes.
up to an hour that just went
and
blocks
he
and
got a little
blocks
pressed,
before you could get into the gas station, and people would
and
actually
he
get into
crashed
fist
out
fights over
onto
whether or
the
not they could get
GOP
gas, and people were
because
just pulling their hair
he
out
said
during
we shouldn't vote for them anymore. But
a
he's
really,
got a
really
point,
hot
you know?
summer. And
He definitely got a
so
point. So we're gonna go to his Twitter.
I realized that this is probably a kind of a similar situation. People may be doing panic buying, and there may be long lines and whatnot.
So he thought Dan
During that
Cranch will lose
time,
or whatever. What did
prices
Dan
more than
Cranch do
doubled.
other than be a loser?
And
Hold on.
there were all these
Oh,
economic
this is crazy.
consequences,
Like,
like
yeah, tomorrow's voting
the
day. Go
interest
vote
rates
for us.
were raised, and all
Still
of those
better
other
than Kamala.
things. I know this is a different time now, and we have different struggles that we're facing now, and
Dude,
this
Nick
is the
predicted this
least
2
of
years
the
ago, by the
world's
way.
worries right now,
Like,
obviously, but I don't know a
he
lot
said
about
that-
what's
yeah, he
real and
said
what's
this.
not
Let's
with the
play this
Iran
real
war, the Iran war. So I was just
But
curious to
now they
know
want
what
JD Vance
anybody's
to be
thoughts
the
were
vice
on
president.
what
He
the
said
gas
that
situation
he
would
wants to
be
give
affecting
Israel
the
the
world,
weapons
whether
they
that's
need
something
to
that we need to
bomb
start
Iran and
like
destroy their nuclear
I already
program.
I'm a toilet paper hoarder. I already got my toilet paper, but like, do we need to
We
really
voted
rearrange
for
how we get
Donald Trump
groceries?
because we
Like,
don't want
is there
any more
going to be
wars in
like
the Middle
not
East.
not
And we
enough
don't
gas for
want a
people to
war
actually
with
get from
Iran
point A to point
now.
B? Do we all need to go out and buy bicycles? What is the reality that we're facing?
No more war.
And then my second question is, does anybody know anything about the discombobulator? Is that a real thing, and why hasn't that been used? So those are just two questions.
I will not
Discombobulator, is that what you just said? Yeah, is that a real thing? Because they were talking about that in Venezuela. There was some kind of weapon called a discombobulator that was somehow affecting
Yeah, so
people
Nick
on the
predicted
ground
this. I mean,
in Venezuela, and
Nick's
that's what
like
they
when it
used
comes
when
to
they
peace and foreign
were
policy,
trying to get
guys,
Maduro,
Nick and Myron
that
Gaines
somehow
are
caused
like the
people to
top
have
of the
major
like
headaches and
that's who
bleeding
you
from
should be
the
listening
ears,
to. You should
and
be
like
listening to Crowd Up. You
I
should be
was
listening to
reading
Charlie
about
Kirk's
that
show.
during the
You know,
Venezuela
even Charlie
invasion,
Kirk opposed
and
the
then
war to Iran, but
there
his
was no
friends
more
are
news
just a bunch
about
of
that.
fags,
So
you know?
if that's a real weapon, why aren't they using that
hold on.
now?
Let's see.
I don't know if
I know
that's real or
Nick
not.
uploaded a bunch
I
of
saw the story as well. They claim, look, there's so many different narratives for what they did. The other claim is, well, why didn't the air defense systems go off? It's because they were able to jam the signals. Venezuela still
Fuentes updates, yeah. Okay.
uses American internet. So who knows if that part's true. Plus, there was a traitor from within Maduro's cabinet. They gave away his
1 hour
location. I
ago.
think it was a colonel. So, I mean,
This guy.
I don't think we'll ever know the whole truth
let's-
behind that capture.
hold on,
So
let's play
I
this
won't comment much on that. Your other
I don't know
question.
which clip we should play.
Sorry,
guys,
what's that?
but-
I was just gonna ask, you
just
still
gonna
about
play part of it.
HCMs, like
Insane.
high power microwave like weapons and shit,
So
like
people
ultra
are
like what is it, ultrasonic
joining the
weapons,
Democrat
like high
Party
frequency
instead,
sound
and
based.
Let's see.
And all that shit. Is that what
Already
is that what the
attacking me. You're a
discombobulated
Democrat.
thing
You're a
is?
fed. You
They
know what my
used something
answer is
like
now?
that in
Fuck
Venezuela. I
you.
remember.
Yeah,
Fuck
I mean,
you.
look, it may be true.
I
I'm
am
just
in
not
my
sure.
I
I'm
am
not
in
gonna
my
give that away if
era
it's
of
true.
I
So,
don't give
who
a
knows?
fuck anymore.
Maybe it
Okay?
flies.
Same,
What was
I'm
the first question
seriously
again?
over it. Like I am.
First question was
past it.
about.
I'm in my villain era.
I
I'm in my
remember
era of
when I was a
I don't
kid.
give
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah, gas
fuck.
prices, oil
People are
prices.
saying you're a Democrat, you're a
Second
fed.
year.
It's like,
Over
hey,
this summer,
asshole.
should we prepare
We
for
are
it now?
at
Should we all
war
go
with
out and buy
Iran.
bicycles
Okay.
to make sure
Wake
that we can
up.
go get
Like
groceries and get
trust the
back and forth to work or
plan.
whatever
Vote
we
for
need to do?
Trump.
How serious
What are you? 8 years
does this
old?
look?
You can call
and I
me
know
a
this is
Democrat.
not
You can call me whatever
really
you
around
want.
I mean, it's a
I'm playing
speculation
both
question. No one
sides.
knows how long this
Okay,
conflict's
we
gonna go
play
on
both
for real.
sides like Chanel. We're playing both
Like, the
sides.
US has its own
Democrat,
oil and natural gas.
Republican. I am
They'll be
going with
fine no matter
whatever
what.
hates
I mean,
my
they just need to
enemies
stop
more.
exporting.
And right now,
Use
Republicans
it for
are
their
my
own
enemies.
purposes if they want.
I
but
want
mean,
to destroy them.
you gotta have the right government in place that actually
People
cares about its
say,
people. That's
well,
the
you know,
bigger
but the
concern.
Democrats are going to do
In
all
terms of
this
shortage
stuff,
of
and the
oil and gas,
Democrats,
prices
Republicans brought us to
prices
war
will
in
go up
Iran.
really
Period.
artificially
End of
because there's
story. I'm
ample,
not listening
oil
anymore.
and
You're
natural
you're
gas
not
out there. It's just because of
you're not
delivery,
getting
'cause
through.
now oil can't
I
cross.
will not be
of course,
gaslit. And this is what people
the
need
Strait
to
of
do. At a
Hormuz, and
certain
it's got to
point,
take a more
people are going to
expensive
make
route,
up their
which
minds.
Saudi's,
You're going to have to
figuring
make
out.
your
And for
decision.
now,
Okay.
the
And a lot of people don't love
natural
this.
gas
I get
pipeline
DMs all the time. People say, you're making a
Qatar
big
is shut
mistake.
down,
You're not
which is
going
going to impact Europe.
Make up your mind.
Less so.
You
'cause again,
make your
they're stealing
decision.
oil also
I've
from
made
Venezuela.
mine.
Don't forget.
I can only speak for
I think
myself.
they are.
I am a
They're talking
citizen.
about taking over
I am
Cuba.
an
and they
American. I
just
have
did the
a vote.
operation in,
I'm not giving
where's
my
Ecuador.
vote to this
And then there's Canada next
treacherous
door. Maybe they'll
administration. I'm
thank
not
them for
voting
some
for the
more oil.
party that brought us to war in
So I wouldn't
Iran
worry so much
for
as an
Israel.
American
I will never
for
do that.
what could happen.
Never.
If you
You can do
thinking back to
whatever
the
you want. If you have more tolerance
70s,
for
stuff went up
bullshit,
like
hey
400%.
man, knock yourself
Went
out.
from like $3
Another
to $12 a
sucker is
barrel 'cause
born
of the oil
every day.
embargo.
You
This
want to
isn't an
vote
oil
for that
embargo,
because the
right? So
Democrats are worse.
It's
hey man,
they're
go for it.
impacting the supply. It's
I'm
going to
not
cause
doing
a
that.
supply shock.
And to
but
the
not
extent
to
that
the
people are
extent
going to
of,
attack me on that
of an oil
basis
embargo.
and say,
So,
you know, like I
Saudi's
said,
still
all the
putting
usual
out oil.
allegations,
You're
try to
gonna have
destroy
use
my
more expensive
reputation.
path. There's the
It's
other
only because they're
Gulf states
afraid
as well.
of that
In addition
outcome.
to many other oil suppliers.
They don't want white
Don't forget
people
the
to
US
know their
steals oil
power.
from
They don't want the
Nigeria
base
every day,
to
by
know
the
its
way,
true power.
in addition to other places
They don't want
in
us to
Africa.
rise up
So they
and
steal
develop
from
our
so
own
many different
political
places.
consciousness and
If they
start
need
fighting
to,
for our own
return
interests.
some of it to the US,
They want to
will.
keep us complacent, keep
So,
us asleep.
Don't underestimate.
You can be
how
angry,
resourceful
but
they
you
can
got
be
to
when
keep
need
voting.
be.
You can be
And they can always
upset,
go back
but
to
you got to
fracking too,
keep
by the
playing
way.
the game. I'm not
Trump
playing the game.
was
I don't
actually a
play
fan of
games.
fracking.
I flip over
He
the
was telling
table.
them to shut it
I don't
down.
like what
He
I'm
did that
getting.
to
I flip
make a
over
deal
the
with
table.
Saudi
I
so
play
they
a new
could buy,
game.
billions
And that's
billions
where
of
I'm
dollars
at
of
right
weapons
now.
and also
I have had
import
it, and I'm
some
going to
Saudi
do
oil to help
something
them that
about
way.
it. Aren't you
So,
tired of bitching?
No, I don't think it's going to be as
I've
bad
had
as
it.
the 70s.
Now I'm
Again, we
going to
don't know
do
how long this
something
conflict's
about it.
gonna
I'm going to vote for
carry
the
on, right?
Democrats
So,
because
we'll see.
fuck you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
People are
all right.
saying we're going to go on Twitter and
Yeah.
we're going to voice our dissent.
Thanks for your questions.
That
Thanks
gets
for your
us
support.
nowhere.
Love you,
got that.
dancing. Love
That's
you.
doing
Love you more.
nothing. We
All
tried
right,
that.
my other
We
favorite
voted
girl,
for this.
Anne, is
well,
here.
you voted for this in
Go for it,
24.
then.
It
Oh,
didn't
thanks,
work.
Joanne. Yeah,
So
I
now I'm
actually
trying
was
something else.
going to
I'm
speak
going
on
to
that
do
topic,
something about it.
dancing,
And the more they panic,
because, yeah,
the
I
more
don't
I
think
know
that
I'm
there'll
doing the
be
right thing.
a drastic
The
shortage,
more that
but I do
people who
think
are
that
paid to lie to
beyond
me
the gas pump
call me out
prices,
for this, the more
it
I know
will
I'm
impact just the prices on everything, right? Because everything has to be shipped, transported.
doing the right
so,
thing.
You know,
Everybody.
Yeah,
the
okay. I
suppliers
want to give
will
my opinion
have
here
the
because
buyer
I
absorb
listen.
that
I don't
cost,
think
just like the
voting for
tariffs,
the
right? So
Democrats is the
they're going to
solution.
have more
And
shipping
this is
costs.
where
So
Nick
then
kind of
we're
gets
going
like
to see
those
that, I
straight
think,
out
with
allegations, and he
prices
can't really beat
beyond
them
just gas.
because he's like, "Well, just vote for the Democrats." I'm like,
And
"Bro,
you know
it's
what's
the same
funny to
thing."
me is the Supreme Court has
Literally
rendered its
what? Okay,
decision
they
that
started a
tariffs
war
are
in
illegal,
Gaza.
and
They funded
no one
Israel.
seems
They
to care
funded
enough about
Ukraine.
that.
That well, by the way,
Trump basically
Ukraine
stole
still hasn't been
$150
stopped.
billion
At
from the
least
American
Gaza, there's like
populace,
some sort of
causing inflation,
ceasefire,
the
right?
hidden
Like
tax.
some sort of
He's got to give it
like
back now. And then,
agreement.
of
But
course,
with
Ludnick in
Ukraine,
his
it's like,
case made
what
a
the
bunch
hell
of
is
cash
happening, by the
betting
way?
that
Is
that's
that
what
war
would
still
happen while
going on?
promoting tariffs as a legitimate
Why
measure
is nobody
that's
reporting
done
about it?
zero
It's
to really help American
insane.
manufacturing
You
to
wouldn't
date.
believe the death
Now,
toll
where's
if I
the
told you, but
outrage?
you know,
You know, these
I don't know,
idiot
maybe it's in
influencers just
100,000.
like, yeah, tariffs, this is what I voted for.
But
so it's just the level of retardation and ignorance on how the economies are supposed to function in international trade as well. It's just astounding to me.
Then it's gonna have to be
some of these idiots have a platform
boycotting.
and they speak on these policies as if they know and understand.
Doesn't matter if
they really are clueless. Because they're the ones who end up losing on tariffs. And they don't even realize that they're promoting their own demise.
Voting is not mandatory in the United States. Voting is mandatory here in Australia.
Higher expense to just acquire basic goods.
Boycott, and you can
too stupid to understand that 96% tariffs get absorbed by the end buyer. I don't know.
Yeah, this is kind of just like a
blows my mind how stupid some of these idiots are.
Hold on. What is all the plan? Yeah. So Nick is saying, what's the plan here? We dropped all these bombs. Newsflash.
Who's next?
Still standing. What have we gone?
I think it was World Goyim or Funk. I'm not too sure.
So they're saying it out loud. They're saying,
After
if we
you,
can't
World
get
Goyim,
Iran
sir.
to capitulate, we'll send
There
in a
you go.
ground
The
force.
polite Australian.
Trump
Go ahead,
says,
World
I'm not
Goyim.
ruling that out in principle. And Hegseth says, we may not invade like we did in Iraq. Maybe we'll do a smaller force, maybe special forces. But Hegseth too says we're not going to rule it out either.
Mike sucks.
That seems to be the only possible alternative. If you're not able
Do
to
me a
drop
favor, bro.
bombs
Take
enough
3
to get them
meters,
into
step
submission
forward,
and
and
they're
then
going
talk into the phone.
hand over their missiles and their nuclear program and make peace with Israel, someone's going to have to go in and kill them. Some force on the ground with guns is going
Get
to
a
have to
new
go
one,
in and
bro.
do this intense fighting to actually raid these facilities, raid this.
They are literally like
And here's the
$10 in sterling.
This
Like
is a
it's not
country
even
three
like an
times the
expensive
size of
thing.
Iraq. So we had an invasion force of 200,000 invade Iraq in 2003. And that country is 1/3 the size. And not only that, Iran is all mountains and desert. So it's a mountainous country, 3 times bigger than Iraq, population 3 times bigger. And they're telling us we're going to need a force that is smaller. It's going to be less complicated. It'll take less time. How does that even make sense?
America and this,
You deploy American
China
troops.
and
What
Russia
exactly is the plan
and
here? Okay, we dropped all these bombs. Newsflash, they're still standing. There's still 200,000 Iranian Revolutionary Guard, and they're not giving up. Okay, what do you do now? Well, we're going to send in a ground force. We're not ruling that out. And what are they going to do?
When it comes to, trade.
Seriously, how are you going to go in there short of 500,000 soldiers? How are you going to go in and invade? And where and when? And what does that even look like? And by the way, what happens then when Americans start dying?
Ultimately,
so
They
Americans
already have, by the way. They already have 7 U.S. servicemen have already been killed.
When it comes to
land on the ground, and all of a sudden they're getting shot with shoulder-launched rockets, and they're getting blown up with IEDs.
Isn't Russia
And Iran is going to change their tactics into a defense of the homeland. Repel the invader. There's going to be no collaborators on the ground. They're going to want the Americans out. So now the country is disintegrating.
They already are. That answers
Okay.
the question, right?
But here's the thing: they're going to subvert. That's what I'm afraid of. They're going to use NATO. They're
Sorry,
going to
Truth,
get
what did
NATO.
you say?
Go ahead, brother.
So that Russia's already dealing with the US/NATO and Israel through the proxy war in Ukraine. They're already involved. They also provide a lot of the data information and test out Iranian weapons. So they help Iran where need be. Why do they can you explain to me why China and Russia need to get physically involved with the conflict in Iran when they're winning? Like, why do you need help when you're winning?
I'm going to tell you right now why. Because this conflict is grown larger than the original overall aspect. What's going to happen is China.
How's it grown larger?
Why? Because NATO is really. I mean, I don't know if you've been.
NATO said they don't want to get involved. They're
People are
scared.
not able to
They
get
say they
food
can't
and
use the
water
base.
and critical infrastructure.
Well, that's what they said.
Everybody's
That's what they
trying to
said, but that's
flee.
not what's
You
going
probably
on.
have
They
a
were involved
refugee
last time,
crisis
too. They
coming
were defending
imminently.
against drones, and
With
that's
the
all correct.
IRGC,
Yeah, is the U.S. going to be ready to deal with this
So
refugee
when you say
crisis?
they're involved, how are they involved?
Also,
What are
we
they
don't
going to
want
do?
refugees. Like, we just want people. to
Germany
fucking
said no.
stay
They
where
changed their
live.
mind. They
You know
said
what
no.
I'm saying? Like,
France
bullshit.
is
They
not
said
getting
no.
involved. What are you
Palestinians
talking
stay
about?
in Gaza.
I don't
The
know.
Iranians should stay in Iran.
Well, I know you're hard of hearing because there seems to be something wrong with your hearing anyway. Hegseth got mad at these NATO countries because
You know what I'm
they don't
saying?
want to
Like,
get
it's-
involved. And then
Like,
Trump
are they
also
actually going to
decided to
do
cancel
this? Though?
trade
Like,
with Spain.
are they going
You know,
to
they refused to
create
even allow for
another
the bases
refugee
to be
crisis?
used.
Because Iran
And
has
Iran's
90
already
million, guys.
struck all the bases in
Iran has
Cyprus
90
that
million.
UK
Like,
has,
even
so
1%
UK
of
is
the
scared,
population
running
would be
scared.
fucking
They're not involved, period. The
900,000 people.
conflict hasn't grown in that sense. And
That's
even
insane.
NATO
just
not
shut the
something that
fuck
the
up when
US
I
can deal
talk.
with
This is why I
at
never
this
had. I
point
didn't
in
even know
time.
who brought you up.
Being
You're also fucking
decapitated
annoying and
over and
stupid.
over
Like, you
again,
don't process
law and
information.
order
I try
breaks
to give you a
down.
substantial,
Then you've got
substantive
Americans in
answer
there.
to the question you
What is
asked,
happening in
and
this
you don't even want
country?
to
Well,
hear it
it's
because you've
going to
already made up your
completely
mind.
destabilize.
You don't ask a question
It's
in
going
good
to
faith
totally
learn.
come apart.
You just
Is
ask a
there a
question to
civil
make a
war
statement. And you can make your
between
statement if
different
you want, but then don't
factions?
ask a
Maybe you
question.
have
You
an
make, you
IRGC
can provide
remnant,
your opinion,
and then you
which
have
I don't give a
U.S.
fuck
loyal
about because it's usually
opposition,
wrong
and then you
anyway,
have
and then
Kurds.
move on.
And
You just waste time.
what
and
does
you
that
just
look
waste my
like? And
energy.
then again,
The fact of the
what
matter is,
exactly
NATO
have we
is
gotten
depleted,
ourselves into?
and
Are we
you
now
heard me
going to
say
have
that.
thousands
They
of
have nothing
Americans
to offer,
dying,
and plus their
trying
energy
to
costs are
put
soaring.
Iran back
They're already in
together
heavy debt.
in a
What are they
civil
going to
war,
offer?
trying to
Troops? If there's no
rebuild
ground
some
invasion
semblance
involved.
of law and
Mercenaries?
order?
No,
What
no ground
exactly are
invasion
we
involved.
on the hook here
And weapons,
for?
most of the gold has already gone to Ukraine. They're
Let's
depleted
see
because they
another
also
one.
provide shit
This
for
is
Israel as
one where
well,
he's like,
as Germany does, as
I want to see one that went
the UK
viral.
does too.
None of
So
these have
they have
been going
nothing
viral.
to offer other than maybe one ship or one plane. They're not declaring war against Iran. Anything else?
Truth. I didn't want to insult you.
Yeah, this is him on Infowars with Alex
You
Jones.
insult my
Like,
intelligence all the
guys,
time.
Alex Jones is kind of
And you insult me.
ever since
Remember
the
the DMs that you
like,
sent me?
he's been a little scared to call out
Germany just
Israel. He's
said
been a
that
little
they're
scared to
sending
call
some.
out.
Okay, cool. What does Germany have to offer?
Spicy.
But this
What
is
does Germany
Nick
have to
said.
offer? And he changed
Israel's
his
in
mind. He
control
gave
of
another
foreign
interview
policy,
after
yeah,
that.
whatever.
Your data's old.
Trump is an
France
errand
said
boy. Okay,
some.
bro.
And
I don't
France
think
is
he's an
sending
errand
like
boy,
one
but
Charles de
he's
Gaulle ship
definitely getting
to
thrown,
defend
which is
against
really
drones.
unfair.
That's it.
Guys, this is really unfair.
And they were
on the
there
American
last time
president.
anyway, doing the same thing, doing
You
the other
get
two
into,
promises.
you win the election, you defeat the
All I'm
deep
saying
state,
is
right?
this conflict.
So again, you didn't answer
and then,
my question.
you
Why
freaking
is Russia
you have to deal with
and
another
China
deep state.
need to
Like, this
get
is
any more
insane. Let's see what
involved
he
than they
said.
already are when Iran's winning?
Bottom line is
Actually,
that I've
China does
confirmed
not need to get
that Israel is
Russia-
basically in
Dude, why
control of our foreign
would they? Iran is
policy
establishing
by our own
itself as
posture in the
a dominant
and that
power
is
in
just
the
He
region.
doesn't
So
want to
why
accept.
would why would
because
they
now we're
need
trying to
China
damage
and
Israel. Oh,
He
Russia?
no,
doesn't
Trump
want to
gave the order.
accept because
No,
again,
our very doctrine
got a
is
simple
if
brain.
Israel's attacked,
He doesn't
we
want to
attack.
process the fact.
And so thank
Iran
God
can
Russia's
handle
not
this on
following
its
agreement
own, and when it needs help, it asks for
Iran or
help.
China, or
It's
we
not
need to war
hard.
with them right now. So
Okay,
it is a
and
fact.
Russia
And then
even
the
said they offered
neocons-
whatever Iran needed during the 12-day war, and they probably took something. Who
The
knows?
Israel lobby's all
But
over the
otherwise, they
internet
want to
attacking
deal
anybody
with
that
it
points this
themselves to
out
show the world they can
and
stand
try
on
to
their
say
own
some
2
kid.
feet. So get the fuck over it, man. And I'm
This
over it
Netanyahu
anyway. Let's move on.
brags about it.
You know, we
Shut
should
up.
give Iran,
That's the big
we should
news.
give
I'm
Iran
defending
its
Trump because he
rightful
makes it
title.
worse.
Yeah. Hold on,
That-
what going?
that
There's a
it is
reason why
now
God gave you a
literally
shit mic
true
because
what
your
I
opinion
claimed.
sucks.
Well, I wanted to
Just wait. So,
Holy
so
burn,
that
bro.
that Trump.
we need to give
Using
Iran its
everybody.
rightful title. It's literally 10 ving 1 at the moment. Yeah, like it's clutching 10 fucking people. Among those 10 countries it's clutching is America, a superpower. So it has earned its right. Iran is a superpower, and it doesn't even have nukes, bro. It is in its own right a fucking superpower. Like you can't deny this fact. Like you can't fight a superpower, hold up your own, and not be a superpower. Like you guys aren't understanding the fucking the depth of this.
I've never denied the fact that Iran is a superpower. Iran has more balls.
It doesn't even have nukes, bro. Like, could you imagine?
I know the most of the JCC powers are cowards, and they're running out of missiles
Of Israel. And how do we deal with that? Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, interceptors.
Well, if Trump is an errand boy for Israel, then you got to shut down his government. And that means you got to go into the midterms and you got to get the Democrats.
It's
Amazing.
literally
We all
taking on
agree.
America.
Democrats hopefully
Yeah,
will
exactly.
impede the
much.
administration.
I'm blaming
Well, that
Funk
was
for that
very
because
smart.
Funk.
Investigations
Listen, is Funk is at fault for this. You
Yeah,
yielded
I
your
know.
mic, guys.
And
Yeah,
also,
and
hold
I
on,
know.
Funky.
is never gonna beat the crowd.
Dollars, if you open your mic one more time, I will block you. Okay? I'm over it, bro.
All right. So, look, guys, I must apologize.
Yep,
I was a
he's
bit
going
too
to be
polite there.
blocked
Mr.
and
World Goyim,
removed.
you need to don't put your hand up when you're sitting in the toilet and your phone's on the other side of the room. All right? So just don't do that again. But I just wanted to actually.
Why do you assume he's using a toilet? He sounds like.
Oh, I can see everything, mate. I'm part of the Club of Rome Bitcoin crew. We see everything. No, I'm only joking. But so regarding what Lavelle said a bit earlier about paying $1.73 for 98 premium fuel, I just wanted to let the Americans in the space understand that, you know, $1.73, you know, that's like 37 US cents. So we're paying like, you know, $1.60 for a gallon, just so you're aware, US dollars.
Can I speak?
They're not accurate. They're not accurate numbers.
One second.
Oh my God,
Don't
no.
interrupt, dude. You're gonna get
Bro,
tried.
an
What is with
Indian.
these sheets, man? All
No.
right. So Lavelle, just a
Yes.
tip, by the way. You know that premium gasoline is a scam, right? They claim it cleans burner, better for your engine. That's all crap. It's just you can look it up too. The studies have shown it, right? It doesn't matter if you use regular or premium, same level of performance, burns the exact same way. It's the oil company's way to get people to pay more for the same shit. Just
What
letting you
about
know.
E10?
Yeah, anyway.
Is E10 the same?
37
No,
cents, pretty
E10's
good.
terrible, yeah?
I suggest look it up. I'm telling you, it's all the
Yeah,
same
okay.
bullshit. It's a scam.
Well, I'm over here thinking because my car has a little thing on it saying it can only take 98 because it's a bit of a sports
Of
car.
course, it's going to
So
tell you that because the car companies are in cahoots with the oil companies. Win-win, right?
fucking hell. So
You
they're not just
understand?
killing my people. They're
Do
not
you
just killing my
understand why
people
the
for the
US
oil.
doesn't have high-speed
Yeah.
rail? Because then people would take it and drive less. You know, they want everyone to just drive on those massive highways.
Hey, Lavelle, test your insurance company. See if it blows up on 91, mate. You'll be right. But
I'm just gonna
all
pump
right,
it with
so
E10.
just a quick little comment regarding like any price rise in the country that we hail from. You know, there's no reason Australia should ever suffer from a fuel crisis. We have not only a massive amount of gas in our continent, we have some oil, okay? But we have also claimed all the oil in Papua New Guinea as well. They are the straw for our fucking, that is our resource of oil. Now, the only reason Australia will ever have a crisis when it comes to energy or fuel is because we are forced, well, no, we've been hijacked by Jews and forced into this global market bullshit, okay? What I'm hoping is the true result from this war in the Middle East and the separation from Israel outside, like just separating Israel and the United States, is hopefully the USA contracts and just gets a bit more isolationist, and it forces the global financial system to break down just that little bit, where we're not at war with each other, but we're not forced to use each other's products all the time, and we can get a bit more local. That way we can fucking reverse that Lima agreement and bring productivity back to Australia instead of fucking outsourcing it to Asia all the time. Because now that we've taught them how to fucking sew, now that we've taught them how to build cars, they can service themselves and we can service ourselves. So that's all I wanted to add a little bit in there. But hey, Truth and Joanne and Lavelle and all of your co-hosts, Truth, we appreciate you fucking carrying this message. Sure, sometimes we conflict with certain viewpoints, and that's good because that means a healthy friendship
Should never
is
agree
always
on
helping
everything.
each other.
That's fake.
Nah, that's right.
You're never going to agree on everything with people, you know.
Yeah.
Little disagreements healthy.
Yeah, Truth, I just
Correct.
wanted to say thank you, man. I'm going to leave now, but yes, just thank you, man. Thank you, Joanne. Thanks, Lavelle. I'll see you guys
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Sabir, before you go,
Nice.
keep calling out that Simon Dickhead guy. He's a subversive.
Yeah, I'll go on Suleiman Space when I can.
Hey,
and thanks, Funk Machine, bro. You
Truth.
sound like a patriot, so yeah. See you, man.
Yeah, I'm a patriot to Australia. I'm an ethnic.
Yeah, so that space was great, guys. But yeah, here's the thing: like Nick is not gonna beat the Fed allegations, as I said, when he's like, "Oh, you're gonna vote Democrat. You're gonna vote Democrat." Like, why does he keep saying it? Like, this is something that just annoys me in general. Like, Nick is like pounding on this. You gotta vote blue. You gotta vote blue. I'm like, just why don't you just not show up on polling day at all? Do some sort of boycott. Do something so that these people can't get in again.
Subpoenas, select committee, all that kind of stuff, and they're going to grind it to a halt. And, you know, if Trump is an operative of a foreign government, consider that he's forfeited his entire mandate. because his whole basis of support is that he's America first, MAGA. He's not like the other politicians. Okay, well, if you're an errand boy for Israel, if you're a puppet of the Jewish state and you're bringing us to war for them, that's not like a small thing. That's not like a little bit of foreign aid. We're going to war on their behalf. He has to be opposed. And a lot of people don't want to take it there for one reason or another. But, I don't know what the option is. I don't know how you work with that. If you're America first and Trump is Israel first, well, that's not exactly a divide that can be bridged.
Exactly. And I just want to make one thing clear. I don't support the Democrats. Nobody should, honestly, because they're fucking retarded. But this is where Nick loses me again. This is what he says. Nick has been based on this so far, 75% based, 25% weird. But this is where he's talks about the Khazarian mafia. And here's the thing, bro. Why are you bagging on Candace so hard? I get it, bro. You have personal beef with Candace, but this is really not the time for you to be having personal beef with people that you actually agree with, people that are on your side. And this is what he says about Candace. She obviously did her series, guys, about Erica Kirk. And this is what he had to say in response to that.
Because even the other people like Candace Owens, you know what? God bless her. Candace Owens is out there. She's against the war. I appreciate that. Somebody clip this. It really is a positive that Candace Owens is against the war in Iran. She's got an unbelievable audience. It's massive. It's a lot of women. Good for her. However, and I will say this, she's saying it's the Khazarian mafia. It's not. It's not the Khazarian mafia. It's the Jews. That's why you have to. No one else is saying it like this.
Myron is, buddy.
Candace says it's the Khazarian mafia.
By the way.
It's these nomadic Turkic tribesmen from the 8th century that moved into medieval Europe and started LARPing as Jews. It's Jews. They're doing it on the Jewish holiday of Purim. It's against the Persians. They're mortal enemies. They're calling them the Amalekites. It's straight out of the Old Testament. It's right out of the Old Testament. Okay. I saw Professor Jang, who's on Sneeko. He says it's the Khazarians, it's the Freemasons. He went a little crazy. I like the guy, but he's a little out there. He's talking about eschatology. He won't say it's the Jews either. Tucker Carlson says it's got nothing to do with Judaism. Really? This Jewish war of aggression by the Jews.
You know what? Yeah, the Tucker thing has got to you know what I'm saying? But you got to respect Tucker, because here's the thing, guys, right? Not everybody's going to say it's Jays. Not everybody's going to do it. And so you have to have certain people in certain roles. Like Nick's role is to call out them, right? Call out them boys. But Candace's role is to call out Charlie Kirk's wife, And Tucker's role is to call out Netanyahu and the government, the formalities. That's what Tucker does. So everybody has a role. And I'm not really sure if Nick understands this. Or maybe he does understand it and he's still bagging on them. Which in that case, he's just being stupid. Because again, everybody has a different role in this fight. And Nick just wants everybody to be like him, which is not going to happen, buddy. I'm sorry to say. And he's like, well, I'm the only guy that calls out the Jews. It's like, no, you're not, bro. Myron, Sneeko, all of these guys call him out. Myron, being the biggest. I've spoken to Myron. He's constantly doing it, bro. He's never letting the foot off the gas. So yeah, this is where Nick kind of loses me. It's like, bro, you got to realize everybody has a different role in this fight, and not everybody's going to be like you, and not everybody is going to agree with you on everything, because we're not, fucking robots. But yeah, let's continue.
Jewish state for greater Israel on the Jewish holiday of Purim against the Jewish enemy, the Amalekites, has nothing to do with Judaism? I guess, bro. Okay. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think so, little bro. I don't think so. He goes, it's Netanyahu.
That's
bro,
crazy,
it's
bro.
not
Nick
Netanyahu.
Is 5'4" and he's calling us little bro.
Netanyahu's opposition. Do you know, just real quick.
Oh, man.
For anyone that would say it's Netanyahu, do you know that Netanyahu's opposition in the Knesset, the leader of the opposition party, wrote an op-ed in the New York Times late last year, and he literally said in the front page, it's not just Netanyahu, it's all of us. I'm not making this up. Okay. Mm-hmm. I believe it was either Yair Lapid or Benny Gantz, the leader of the Israeli opposition. Okay. The guy that's running the party against Netanyahu took out an op-ed in the New York Times and said, Don't blame this on Netanyahu. He said this is the bipartisan security consensus of all of Israel, and most people support this.
Yeah,
here.
they have a fucking hive mind, guys.
So that's not me. When I say it's the Jews, it's Israel, that's me quoting them. I'm not really saying that. I'm quoting them. That is what they claim. So if you're out there saying it's just Netanyahu, he's the problem. It's not even Israel. It's not even the Jews. Look at the polling. 70% of Israelis supported Israel bombing Iran. Okay? The vast majority of Israelis support this war. And there is a wartime cabinet. The opposition was included. They're on board with this whole plan. They've been on board with it. All of the vital members of the Knesset are on board with this.
They would stop him. And that's why Nick is right in this case.
And support it. So,
like the opposition party,
the idea that there is some, significant pushback, it's not,
the opposition party
demonstrable of the entire Jewish community, or I should say, representative of the whole Jewish community. Where are they getting this stuff? That's just rhetoric. Yeah. They would like that to be the case, but it isn't.
Like,
this is the only show that will talk about the Jewishness of all this, from where all this comes. Everybody's either lying or they're afraid or they're just misinformed. Not the Khazarians, not the Masons. It's not just Netanyahu, contrary to Tucker, Candace, Jang, all these other people. Only this show is going to tell you the power matrix that has brought us to this war. It makes me fear for my life. When you see what the Israelis have done in Beirut, what they've done to Hezbollah in Lebanon, when you see what they've done to Iran, it's a little bit terrifying.
Yeah. So guys, that is the last clip that I'm going to react to. Great show today, guys. I'm going to be clipping these down. Obviously, it's like 2 hours long. So I'm going to be clipping these down. I'm going to be putting it out in clips. I'm going to be putting it out in shorts. I'm going to be uploading reels on Instagram, etc. But thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today. We had a great run today. We got 3 topics. We got explaining the red pill to you guys, modern dating, psychology, why the dating market is cooked, what you can do about it, what are the signs to watch out for, etc. Then we went on to explain what it means for the Australian Air Force Base in Dubai to be attacked. Is Australia going to be joining this war or not? We have to see. But all the stuff I said there is absolutely true, and some of it is my opinion. So take my opinion with a grain of salt, but take the facts with a heap of salt. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we have the last topic here, which is Nick Fuentes calling out the GOP establishment. And we had a great space. Shout out to Truth Teller, by the way, guys. I'm going to be shouting him out right now. This is his account, Truth Teller FTM. That's his handle on Twitter, guys. Go follow him. He's running spaces constantly on X every single day. And yeah, it's just a blessing and an honor to have a chance to speak with him. And of course, as well, guys, go follow Suleiman Ahmed. He has the biggest show on X. Go follow him. His handle is Sheikh Suleiman. Go follow him on X. And yeah, I speak on both of these spaces quite frequently. So please go do join those spaces if you see me. And my Twitter handle is Sabir1 Rahman. So thank you guys for joining. We're going to do this again, of course, as the war is coming out, as more red pill information is coming out, explaining psychology, human nature. We cover it all here, And so, yeah, guys, great stream today. And we'll catch you soon, very soon. See you. Good night.